Welcome one and all. This is Mr. Mike, and you're listening to the GamezAttack podcast, episode 19. This is the Happy Holidays edition, and happy holidays to all of you. Ho, 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 ho. Oh, who do we got over here? Woo, ho, 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 ho. Oh, look, it's Santa himself. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. I don't even know how he even got over here. Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas, gamers one and all. I'm just gonna put him over there. It's fun when you can do some cool, weird, stupid stuff like this in OBS. You know, the simple things. That's all it is, the simple things. Okay, Santa, you're gonna go. Not gonna go away. Well, I can make him creepy, Santa. You can creep him out like over there. Nah, I'm gonna put him over here. So welcome one and all. If you're watching this video form of the podcast, this is the GamezAttack podcast video form. If you're just listening to this, you'll just have to imagine what I'm doing here on the screen with Santa and stuff. Okay, Santa, I need to put you somewhere where you're not in my way a little bit there. There we go. Here, have some holly jolly fun with Mr. Mike there. Then I got what's his name there? The Grinch. He's all happy to be on this podcast too. So welcome everybody. This is the video game podcast. This is the holiday video game podcast, as I like to consider this one. Yeah, we talk about video games on this podcast, and we also talk about well, it's the holiday season, that's for sure. That's what's coming up. If you're listening to this and watching this, it's already here because this podcast goes out on the 25th, on Christmas Day. So this is a Christmas holiday podcast gift to you, the watcher or listener. And yeah, usually most of the industry, including podcasters and video production people, they're usually taking off at this time. They're like, let's enjoy the holidays, so we're not going to have anything to give to everybody out there. And maybe sometimes people want to listen or watch something new from, you know, their favorite podcasters or video makers out there. But you know what? I, Mr. Mike, going to give you all the gaming holiday podcast you want and deserve. Now note, I am pre-recording these podcasts way ahead of time. So this is the Happy Holidays episode 19 podcast. I got the next year's podcast, the after New Year's podcast, I should call it. It's after the holidays podcast. I think, what is it? The New Year's? I forgot what I called it, but there's another one pre-recorded. That's going to be the all music edition of the podcast. I will not have that in video form though, folks. I have announced that on another live stream of mine, but that's not going to be in video form. That's only going to be in audio form because I don't want YouTube taking me off putting me on that naughty list that YouTube likes to do with music. And even though this is music from video games that I'm doing on that podcast, you know, people get really crazy. You know, that DMCA, they're very, very, very naughty. They're definitely on that naughty list of the gaming naughty list. But we're here. Like I said, I'm pre-recording this. This is my basically games in review. We're going to have some new stuff that came about. We do have some stories, some news, some late before the holidays gaming news. You know, I wanted to put in a little bit of that. I'm going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. You know, the games that I've been played in 2023. I got a huge list of that. I'm just going to go through a rundown of that. I got a whole bunch of other stuff I want to talk about in the gaming industry and what I think might be happening next year and beyond. And yeah, a whole bunch of stuff here, a whole bunch of stuff in this podcast. So everybody, get those holiday stockings stuffed. Enjoy opening up your presents or do some gaming. You know, you could do that as well. And sit back and enjoy listening to my nasally drone, as I like to say, on this very, very Merry Christmas to all of you. Listen to me as you open up those gifts and stuff because, you know, that's what I do. I listen to podcasts, watch movies, listen to music. When I open up my gifts or I play video games and such, you know, because that's what I do, even on the holidays, because that's what I like to do. So, we're going to kick it all off with what I like to consider the games that I, Mr. Mike, have played in the past weeks. And, you know, I did a little game playing. I didn't put a couple of games on this list because I didn't really play them. I just did a quick on and off with the games because, you know, the rewards, the Microsoft rewards you get for trying out or kind of playing a game. So those are the games that I popped in and popped out of. But one of them I might want to get back into. I don't know yet. I'll quickly mention that in a little bit. But here are the games that I, Mr. Mike, have played in the past weeks.
The games that have been played in the past week.
That's a good game.
Enjoy your gaming.
Of course. I had to add that stuff in there because why freaking not? So everybody, you know, playing games, that's what I do. That's what I have fun in. And I had to load this up because I didn't know the full official name of it. But I played a bunch of games, and I beat in one of those games just recently, actually. And the main game I've been playing mostly, you've been watching it, hopefully on my streams at OldFreakyGamer.com or YouTube.com/OldFreakyGamer or Twitch.tv/OldFreakyGamer on Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I do live streams of games and such. I'm still doing them during the holidays, so hey, as you watch this, you just missed one on Friday. I did do one. I'm going to do one next Friday. I'm not stopping that. I don't care if it's holidays or not. I just have fun doing my 8 o'clock Eastern PM live streams on Fridays because that's what I do because it's playing video games, so why not? And this is a one game I've been playing from Yakuza Like Me series. I've been playing Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. I have officially beaten that. Now, I didn't, 100% complete it, but, I beat it. I beat the story, did a lot of stuff, did a lot of side stuff. I'm kind of going back in there and do a little bit of grindy stuff to get maybe a little bit of extra Chivo points, maybe. I'm going to try to attempt to. But mostly I'm done with that. That's going to be done, buried, gone for, when I fully complete it. I don't really have to play it again. It was a very nice game. It was a really nice story with Kiryu, or Jiryu as he likes to be called in that game. He's the guy that he pretended to kill himself. He pretended to be dead because he had to protect his children at the orphanage. He had to protect the secrets of the past of the people, of the government, of other, agencies and stuff, and Yakuzas or not Yakuzas. It's hard to say what kind of organizations they like to consider themselves. And, he did all that to give a better life and give that orphanage that he cares so much about and the people he cares so much about and the kids and stuff a happy, better life, even though they're not seeing him anymore. He did that for all them. Because, Kiryu, even though ex-former Yakuza, he just likes to give and give and give, and he hasn't He hasn't dropped that from his persona yet. You know, this is like what, 8 games in. You know, he was in Like a Dragon or Yakuza Like a Dragon for a little bit, but we'll go 7.5 games in, and he hasn't changed his persona one bit. He doesn't like killing. He doesn't like, doing a lot of stuff, even though he is a full-blown Yakuza that can kick anybody's ass. And he's still got the heart of gold. He still likes to help people. He's still got, he's less clueless than he was before, but, he's still got that young Kiryu in him, even though he's older, way older now, and his life is yet, his life will be eventually extinguished one day. Because he isn't going to live forever, even in a video game persona. I don't know. I know people would be like heartbroken to see him go. I know I would, because he's one of my favorite characters. Him and Majima are my favorite 2 characters of the games, of the Yakuza games. And I know a lot of other people do, even though they kind of pushed Majima behind the scenes a bit. He does pop up. He does do some, talking and stuff. But he's not any, they don't focus on Majima anymore. And, I like Majima a lot. He's a crazy Yakuza guy. He was really proper and straight in the beginning, and then he just went all off the rails down the road in the game. And then, Kiryu, he's just Kiryu. He's always been Kiryu, and he stays like that. And this game, the stepping stone game to the Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth game that's coming out very soon, next month. Or this month if you're listening to us on January 26th of 2024. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be Kiryu. It's going to be It's going to be Ichiban and crew and a new crew. They got this. I played the demo of it. You're going to see that if you watched any of the Like a Dragon Gaiden and Man Who Erased His Name videos that I do on Yakuza Like Me, which I post, of course, they get posted after the fact on OldFreakyGamer.com and YouTube.com/OldFreakyGamer. You'll see that I played the Infinite Wealth demo a little bit. I didn't go into too far. I just made it like a little over an hour video. I played a little bit of some more of Like a Dragon Gaiden, did some of the achievement stuff, and then I went into Like a Dragon Infinite to see what that's gonna entail. They should, a bit of the story and stuff. Got into some of the beginning of the story. I got into the middle of the story because they actually have 2, which is weird because they load up different games. It's like loading up 2 different games, and after loading it up, they put you like in the middle of Infinite Wealth. I was level 16 with the group of followers doing some story. And I did just a little handful of stuff. Looked at the world a little bit, did that. I didn't want to do too much because I know when I go into it fresh in January, I didn't want to just do stuff and then have to do the same stuff again. I wanted to do it, a little bit of stuff. And then I wanted to just make sure that I, kept it as fresh as possible, because if I got to do this stuff over and over again, it just gets tiresome. And there was it's like when I played Diablo 4. I played it like 3 times already, the demos. And now whenever I get a chance to play the actual game, it's going to be like, okay, I got to start this whole game up again, play through all the stuff that I already played and beat through it again. And, that gets a little tiresome. It's like, okay, I think I overdid it. So I don't want to overdo it with Infinite Wealth. So like I said, I fought a bunch of on the streets kind of thugs and stuff, did a little bit of the battle, checked out the battling system, which is very good. It's amazing in Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. And got to play as my team. I got to see the team. You got this, like I said, this one lady, she's like a Chun-Li. She looks like Chun-Li. She acts like Chun-Li, but she's not Chun-Li, especially because she doesn't got the thunder thighs as Chun-Li has, but she looks like her. If you look at her, you're like, isn't that Chun-Li? And she fights like Chun-Li. Even though she's like a salsa dancer, she's like a dancing girl. I guess she's a dancer or something in the world. We'll find out her backstory eventually, but she dances, she kicks their asses. She does big leg kicks and stuff, and she does backflips and stuff. And I'm like, you not only look like Chun-Li, you act like Chun-Li, you kick and hit like Chun-Li. I'm like, your hairstyle's a bit like Chun-Li, you just don't got the thunder thighs like Chun-Li. And I'm like, and when she took out a whole group of people, and you could see this in the video, she took out a whole group of bad people in one sweep in motion. I'm like, yeah, she's going to be my she's going to be my party gal. She's going to be in my party as my party gal, and she's going to kick a whole lot of ass. I'm telling you, she's going to be leveled up pretty high. And then you can also play, you're going to be with Ichiban, and then Kiryu's going to be in that group, I guess, as well. And Kiryu, he's got his special ability where you can use him, and as you're fighting, because this is going to be a turn-based style, it's not going to be the fighting style like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name was. Infinite Wealth, it's going to go back to that turn-based style of gameplay, like you knew in Yakuza Like a Dragon when they first introduced Ichiban in the crew, but they give you that special little Kiryu fight thing. So when you go into a special ability, that's when you can play him as a fighting character, and you can fight him like you would normally do in the older Yakuza series of games. And I'm like, that is pretty cool. That is not only cool, that is special. That is definitely special because it's not just turn-based anymore. It's turn-based, and then you can do a little fighting in it as well, which really, really got me really excited for. And I'm like, okay, because I was, even though I played, and I beat, Yakuza Like a Dragon, and I loved the turn-based, I learned a lot from turn-based strategy games going forward for like the Persona games and stuff that I'm playing, and Persona 5 Tactica, which I'm currently playing right now. I learned a lot of stuff for those games and future turn-based games, because I never used to be good. Like, I tried playing a lot of the Final Fantasy games before, and I never really got too far into them because I just didn't know all the aspects of turn-based games like that, turn-based RPGs and stuff like that. And this brings me to that next level. This taught me to, this is how you do this. This is how you level up. This is how you conserve your SP, EP, all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, I get it now as an older guy. And I fell in love with the genres. And now I feel like I can play most turn-based JRPGs and stuff in the future. Maybe future even playing future Final Fantasy games or something, or past Final Fantasy games. And it helped me learn new abilities in video games. And it's special because then with Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth going forward, the way that they put the new system, it's like the older system, but they added a little bit of flair to it. It makes it a lot easier to go use your characters, point at the characters you want to battle, choose the skills you want to use, or just beat them up, and to heal and whatnot. It makes it a lot easier to quickly go through that sequences and stuff, and that is very good if you want to do a lot of battling in the game. And I'm going to do a lot of battling until I learn the trick on how to milk and get all the money I can in the game, because that's one of the main goals that I do in these turn-based JRPG games. I want to milk as much money out of the system as possible, so that helps me, buy more potions or whatever you want to consider it, or health items or SP items for when I'm battling and stuff, and my moves use a lot of SP. I can just revitalize that SP going forward, or if one of my party members helps revive my SP and stuff, or if I got an ability to just let SP just go back up over time, that's what I have learned to do, and this game is going to make it a lot easier. It's going to be so much fun to play this game. And the world in Hawaii, making this, they said it's going to be like 3 times bigger than any Komarocho or anywhere else, or in Jinchu or any of those other Yakuza places. I'm like, that's going to be great. And it looks big too. The map, if you look at the video, look at the map, and they got you in a chunk of the map, but beyond that, you can probably go probably mostly most of those spots I would guess. And I'm like, wow, that's going to be a lot of area to play in. And it's going to be really fun to go everywhere and beat people up and see what the story goes and stuff. And it's an interesting story so far. I'm very interested in where the story is going to go. I know there's going to be some heartbreaks going on in this story, but it's going to be a powerful story. It's going to be a powerful game, and I cannot wait to play it. It's going to be great. And I know I'm talking about Infinite Wealth now, and I should be talking about more like a Dragon Gaiden, but, you know, that game had its stepping stone moment. It was really good, and I milked it for much as I could do that. And, yeah, that's the game I played, and that's what it's bringing me up to. It's bringing me up to thinking, ooh, Infinite Wealth. I cannot wait to play that, even though it's not going to be an all-out brawling game. It's going to be more of a turn-based JRPG. That's okay with me. I'm all good for that. The other games that I played, of course, Vampire Survivors. I've been playing that on the PC on and off, and I should put Rogue Ally because I did play a little bit on the Rogue Ally. I played more of it on the PC, though, so that's why I put PC on there. And then, of course, Persona 5 Tactica. I've been playing that on the Rogue Ally. That's been pretty interesting and fun. You know, if you like the Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle games, this is what that's like. So if you want to get a good reference on what this Persona 5 Tactica is going to be like, it's not like your JRPG strategy type of play like I was talking about with Final Fantasy and stuff. This is like the Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, and I think they make it easy enough for you to play it just like you would play Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, at least for now, as I've started playing this game. And been enjoying it. I've been enjoying it. At first, I'm like, okay, they're making these anime characters more cartoony and, you know, and stuff like that. But they're growing on me, and, you know, it's the Persona 5 characters from Persona 5 Royale and stuff. So it's just it's basically continuing on from when Royale left off in this turn-based fun that they're doing with Tactica, and I'm having a blast. I'm playing a little by little, doing a few battles here and there, going through and learning what's happening, what's going to go on. And, you know, you got this evil lady that just wants to get married to this politician because I guess she wants ultimate power or something, or whatever's going on in her life. I guess maybe she's engaged to somebody else or whatnot. Maybe she's engaged to him in that other universe. We just don't know it yet because he's engaged, apparently, that we found out whatchamacallit, whoops, I'm hitting everything here because my chair is spinning, but this politician that we're protecting, but, you know, a lot of things are going down in there. The story's just like any Persona 5 or Persona story so far, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. I know I haven't really talked too much about it, but there's a story. Like I said, main baddie is a woman that's wearing like this old school, like you would see the British wear kind of outfit back when war was with big one thing like rifles, and you got to put the black powder in and stuff, and they wore the big hats and stuff. That's what she's wearing. She's wearing one of those old Confederate. Is it Confederate or old, or what would we call it? Confederate or British ensembles? Old school war ensemble. And then, like I said, she just wants to get married and have that wedding, and she's evil, I guess, in a certain way because of her lust of power and whatnot, and she's taken over the world or whatever, and the other universe, the metaverse. And it's just like, okay, I wonder how the hell that happened and how that all got into that. And I'm just wondering, I'm just going forward little by little to see what's going to happen next. Then you got Morgana and Joker and everybody just battling it up. I got the rest of my team back. They were all under her spell, I guess. She has the ability to take over people's minds and stuff in the early game and took them all over. And then I had to battle them to get them. And you got to plant a flag and stuff. Oh, my God. There's a lot of stuff going on in the game, but really fun and really easy to get into. Like I said, if you played the Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle games, and you liked them, this would be something that you might want to check into, especially if you like Persona. Like the Persona games. Persona 5 Tactica might be right in your wheelhouse there. So, well, those are the games that I played. A game that I kind of played, but I didn't play, but I might want to play, I just don't know yet, was the Elder Scrolls Online, the Tamriel Unlimited game. It's the online Elder Scrolls game. I tried it out because there was Microsoft Rewards points given to play an hour of that. At first, when I got into it, after downloading the over 100 gigabyte file size, which not too shabby for me, it still took some time, but because I have a gigabit connection here at the house through my fiber connection, it still took like 20 minutes to download, but still, all in all, I'm like, okay, let's play this game. And at first I was like, oh, this is horrible. The really bad thing of trying to get into that game to try to play it was trying to get my character name. And I couldn't get anything. I tried every freaking name. I had to just type down and hit a bunch of gobbledygook on the keyboard just to get a stupid name in the game. Like, no name was working. Nothing. I tried every name that I could think of, everything, and everything was taken. I couldn't believe it. All my favorites, all the weak ones. And I was like, whoa, error, this is taken. Error, this is taken. And I'm like, I don't like that. Now, I continued on for a little bit. Finally, when I typed in the gobbledygook and I got in to play the game, I played the game a little bit. It was kind of sucking. It was like, okay, what am I supposed to do? What is happening here? And I couldn't understand, and I was trying to get out of this thing. Now, note, it was really late at night. I was getting really sleepy last night to try to play it, and maybe that was the reason, because I couldn't really think of what to do. And then today I played it some more, and then I realized what I had to do and what had to happen and what was going down. So what I'm thinking, if I want to try to get back into this online open world, which I don't think I was in the online open world yet. I think I was just still in the early outer edges of the game thing before I got into the real world and played with, I don't know, other people here in North America. I think I want to go back. I think I want to see if I can create a real name and a new character. I don't know how that's going to be possible, but if I can create a new character with, new name stuff. I haven't done much in the game yet. I just got into there to see what it looks like. It looks pretty good. The fighting is pretty good, with the lower level characters like the saber tooth animals and the bad guys. It seems like it's pretty spot on easy, and you got this blocking ability where you can just shove the enemy back with this blocking ability and then hit them and stuff. You stun them and hit them. It seems okay, now that I'm actually got in to play a little bit of it, and I'm thinking, you never know, maybe I might want to get into this a little bit, this online thing, especially because it's a Game Pass game and I'm a Game Pass subscriber and I could play this for free on Game Pass and not subscribe. Because the first thing that was the torture of this game was, it wants you to create this, it wants you to create a password, it wants you to do this to sign in and all this stuff, and create an account, do that. I'm like, I don't want to do any of that. And then it was really tricky to figure out how to get in and not have to sign up for anything. And then it's like trying to sign me up for stuff, try to pay for a subscription to stuff, because you can do that in this online game, because that's why it's an online game, just like you would in a World of Warcraft or something. And I'm like, I was getting frustrated. This was like last night too, so I was getting frustrated. I'm like, what is all this bullshit? And I'm like, they can't expect me to sign up an account and do an account and everything just to play a little bit of like an hour of this game so I can get this points, do they? And then I watched a video online. You could bypass all that and just do the game the way online without all that stuff. But there was a lot of stuff that was tricky in there, and eventually I got past all that. I got my character. Like I said, the name of the character is like, it's a bunch of typed on keyboard names. If I can get a nice created character name, maybe I'll start over again, because like I said, I'm not really deep into it or anything. I'm still very early beginning on, and I would be willing to just do it all again, get in there, do it all again, and try to progress in the game through doing it the legit way with an actual character name. I like my character and how she looks right now, but I would touch her up a bit. Maybe I'd do some other things, and then, but also I want to have a real name and do all that stuff. So, because I downloaded over 100 gigs onto my Xbox, I might as well try to play it some more, and see what I can do. It's got you can get over 6,000 achievements in this game. 6,000 plus achievements in this game. That is crazy. And I'm sure there's people that are very invested in this online a game of Elder Scrolls Tamriel bit. Like I said, I love Skyrim. I love the Elder Scrolls games, and maybe this is something more I want to play. Even though I could go back into Skyrim on my PC of Skyrim and play that some more, because I get far into a game and then I just stopped playing it for a while. But I don't know. Maybe it's just too much open world games for me. Maybe I gotta just stick with like the Yakuza games and some other games and not get into any of this stuff. I know it's hard, but I only have so much free time. I got a job, I got to go to work, got to pay the bills, got to keep the electricity running so I can play these games. So it's not easy. It's not easy being a grown up. Being a grown up sucks. Being a grown up definitely sucks.
Knock, knock, open up the door. It's real.
That is right. Open up the door. It's real. Yeah, that's the stuff I've been playing. Maybe I'll add the Elder Scrolls thing to this thing, because I did play an hour of it, but I don't want to really count it because I didn't really get too far into it. So it's up in the air for me if I put it on my list here. But those were the games that I played in the past weeks. Not too much, but like I said, I was very busy work-wise. A lot of things going down before these holidays at my job, and then I'll have my 3 days off, and my plan is for this holiday weekend coming up next week. I work Friday, of course, but when I get out early on Friday, and then it's just the whole weekend is going to be a 3.5 day weekend, because I'll have the rest of Friday, and I'll have Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off because it's Christmas, and we actually get off for Christmas, and I'm going to be doing some gaming over that holidays, Hopefully. I'm not going to do too much of anything else. It's just going to be my gaming holidays, play games, stream games. I'm going to stream on Friday like I usually do at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm going to stream on Sunday, on Christmas Eve Sunday, yes, during around the time that I'm recording this, like 12, 1, maybe 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. And I'm going to stream me playing something. I don't know yet. I was thinking of playing some Dead Space. What's it called? Too many dead games. Too many games that start with dead. Dead Island 2. I was thinking of playing, but I don't know. Maybe I might choose something different. I haven't decided yet on what I might want to play for that. So that's something still up in the air. But anywho, it's going to be a weekend of fun, eating stuff. I've been, yesterday, I've been cooking all day as well. I've been making food, for the holidays, pre-eating. I'm going to eat it during the week, but I'm going to eat all that stuff during this week, but also Christmas holidays, Polish stuff like Polish sausage, holiday Polish sausage. I should say holiday smoked Polish sausage, which you then boil and cut up, and it's delicious. I usually make that with cheese pierogies, but I didn't make cheese pierogies this year, and I don't want to buy it. I don't like buying other people's cheese pierogies because they put sugar in there, and it makes the pierogies taste weird, but I like just my own farmer's cheese, old school pierogies, but Anywho, I usually have that sausage with a side of macaroni and cheese on the side, or also my egg salad that I'm going to be making today after our podcast. I'm going to be making my holiday egg noodle salad that I make. It's really good. I love it. It's really good for you. A lot of eggs in there, a lot of eggs, a lot of other stuff, a lot of celery and stuff like that, paprika for some color and spice, and everything is delicious. I cannot wait to make that because I'm going to eat some of that today as well. But that's going to be my holiday weekend. I'm going to watch, of course, holiday Christmas movies and regular movies and stuff. Just enjoy a weekend, because usually I'm busy. I'm doing stuff every weekend or whatnot. And, then I'm usually have to work Monday, but thank God for Christmas, being off on Christmas, then I don't have to work it. And I am working New Year's Day, though. I don't care about New Year's Day. That is something that's just another day in the book to me. It's just another day in a new year, but I work that day. That's a day I don't care about. But I know a lot of people do. A lot of people like their New Year's and they like to celebrate New Year's. Me, I'd rather celebrate Christmas. New Year's, I don't really care about. As a gamer, it's just another day. And what's 2024 going to be like different than 2023? Come on, let's face it. Until we get a certain somebody out of the office, a certain commander-in-chief out of the office, and we get a certain somebody back in office or whatnot, that's maybe will focus on our country and not everybody else's country and problems out there. I know there's a lot of problems out in the world today. I understand, and it's sad. It's sad that it goes that way, but that's shit that's always been boiling up or always been going on, and not many other countries are doing anything about it. You notice it's just us, the United States, mostly doing all this trying to help. I know this is a video game podcast, but you got to sometimes say the other politics out there. And I don't like talking about the politics, but it's the holiday season. It's like they got to deal with their own shit. They got to start dealing with their own shit. We don't always have to butt into everybody else's shit. We got to focus on this country and our shit in this country first. Then when our shit gets taken care of and our shit is good, then we can maybe help out a few other people out there. People that deserve it, that will help us back when needed. It seems like we're wasting a lot of our time, resources, stuff like that, and giving them all away. And it's like, we're never going to get any of that back. It's not really helping anything. And it's just a disaster. Even though got shit going down here in this country with people and governments and stuff. And it's just like, not good leadership, not good governmental leadership at all. And then you got all the children up on Capitol Hill fighting it out against each other because they're all a bunch of self-centered babies and they all want to win this internal war and stuff. And I'm like, when are we going to get our purge, the great purge of America? When are we going to get our internal war here? Because I can always see an uprising coming or internal, like, I don't know, a war or something happening in America, because America's been broken. It's more broken than ever. But yet, we're focused on other people. Should be focusing here. But you know what? Like I said, I don't like to talk too many politics. I used to. I don't do that anymore. What I care about, getting my job done, making money, coming home, working out, whatever, have some fun, play some video games. You could call me an escapist all you want, just escape the realities, but you know what? Reality sucks out there. Reality's good in here. Reality's definitely good in the virtual world. So, you know what? I'd rather be in the virtual world. Just like the Matrix, I'd rather be plugged in than unplugged for what we got to deal with out there. Stupid politicians, taxes, all this other stuff. Forget about it. That's why we got the holidays for. That's why we're happy to be here for video games and stuff. So, right now I'm going to go through the list of games, and maybe I'll talk about a bunch of them and not. I'm not going to talk about every single thing. I'm going to talk about all the games, but I'm not going to talk about these games in fully, because that would be the longest podcast in history. Even though I got a good list here of games that I played throughout this whole year, but still, well, it's a lot. For me, it's a lot. So games that I played in 2023. Now note, these aren't all just brand new games for 2023. A lot of these are games that have been out for a while now or whatnot. So I played older games, new games, remastered games. This isn't just a list of, these are the games that came out in 2023. Because sometimes I got games in my backlog that I want to play and beat or try to play. These are the games of 2023 that I have played. So going down the list, the first one on my list is Wolfenstein: The New Order for Series X and PC. I was starting to try to play a little bit of that. I think I did that as a Let's Play or something. I was getting into it. And I guess there was also an Xbox Games Rewards thing going on with that as well. And I'm just checking the time here. And I wanted to get into the new Order. Start playing that a little bit, get into that. I got to get back into that. It is what it is. It is a Wolfenstein game. It is the New Order. It's its own game, its own, franchise, whatever. They're pretty good. Their stories are interesting. They're not the most challenging games, at least not yet, but figuring stuff out can get a little challenging, but shooting the Nazi bad guys, that's always fun. And then they got the steel wolf dog things, the mechanical dogs, and all the other stuff, and just weird technology and stuff that's going on with the Wolfenstein game. And not finished. Like I said, it's on my list here, and I'll have these show notes in the show notes, these extra notes in the show notes. So if they're written crudely, I'm sorry, I just quickly typed them out as fast as I could. But yeah. And I'm also gonna start doing, especially for next year, starting to jot down games that I've been starting to play or still playing and whatnot, and what's finished, what's not. And I'm gonna keep recording new stuff. All this list is going to be gone, and then when I hit start up again in 2024, there's going to be a new list and a new bunch of stuff, and and then I could talk about stuff for 2024 that I played from either 2023 or before or beyond and whatnot. So that's always good. But Wolfenstein: The New Order, I want to get back into it. I always wanted to play more of the Wolfenstein games. It's just the matter of when I get a chance to, and when I feel like I want to get back into the Nazi regime and kill them. Another game that I have not finished that I might want to get back into. It's very crude. It's a blast from the past. I never really played it until then, and it was okay, and I thought I was doing well in it. That was the GoldenEye 007 game that came out on Game Pass. It was always rumored, always people wanting to have GoldenEye 007 back. They really wanted it for the multiplayer, the online multiplayer, which the Xbox version is lacking due to Nintendo, and Nintendo being Nintendo. They wanted to have the online, but yet they don't have it in HD or anything on Nintendo. On the Switch, they have it on their 720p, but the Switch or the Xbox has it in 4K or something, or 1080p 4K or whatnot for 007 GoldenEye. And it's kind of interesting how, when even if you have to work with another company, things have to get compromised or broken or whatnot. And it's like, well, people really wanted to play GoldenEye 007 because they wanted to play online with each other. And if they can't do that, what's the point putting it out? Even though it does have a game in there, it has a main story part of the game, which I've played a little bit of, and there's missions, but people really want to play the other stuff with it. But it's on Game Pass. It's always going to be on Game Pass because, the reason why it's on Game Pass and why Microsoft wanted it on Game Pass, because it was made by Rare, which Rare, made a lot of the games like the Banjo-Kazooie games and stuff like that, and Conquer and the Conquer games and stuff, and Sea of Thieves recently, which I guess is still a pretty big hit for them right now. It took a little while, but it became a big hit, especially now that still unreleased Cross and Bones from Ubisoft, which I still think it won't come out next year, but they say it is because they got a release date again. But basically, being playing a ship captain and playing online with other people, that's what they did. But Microsoft in general, Xbox in general wanted 007 or GoldenEye 007 on Game Pass to complete that Rare replay, because that's all Rare games. That's all the Rare games that Rare made from the past. So there you go. Haven't finished it. I might want to get back into it. We'll see. It's not on the top of my list of games that I want to play right away, but if I ever get back into it, I haven't installed on my Xbox, but I might have to clear its way for other games. Not that it's a big game or anything, but it's just I got other games that I want to play on there. Here's a game that I actually finished, people. Played it on the Series X, Hi-Fi Rush. Now, note, I should put a quotation on there that says, I beat it, but I didn't. Because isn't there a DLC for Hi-Fi Rush, or am I just thinking that? Let me take a look online here. Hi-Fi Rush DLC. Is there DLC? Steam DLC Hi-Fi Rush. Let's see here. I think the DLC is just a costume pack. Hi-Fi Rush Arcade Challenge free DLC announced. Says there's DLC, but I'm trying to look here to see what's what here. Hi-Fi Rush Deluxe Upgrade. I'm not seeing DLC. Get yourself some bonus swag with the Hi-Fi Rush Deluxe Upgrade Pack. Mix and lock your special cosmetics, plus gears for a head start on unlocking skills and upgrades. I don't know. I don't think there's actually DLC for this. This is just like cosmetic packs and stuff. They got the Hi-Fi Rush original soundtrack. That's pretty cool. I'm looking on Steam right now, but I'm not seeing anything really DLC-ish here. But yeah, I played it. I loved it. At first, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna get into this game, and then I was watching people play it, and then I'm like, it looks like a good platformer game. And then I found out there's a little bit of rhythm stuff into it, a little bit of rhythm battling in there, and I'm like, oh, I'm so bad at that. I'm so bad at it. But Hi-Fi Rush made it in a way that that I was able to get into it and still be able to do the rhythm stuff quite well enough that I was able to, even though I was getting frustrated throughout the game, I played it and beat it, and it was quite a fun experience. It was quite an adventure in Hi-Fi Rush, and I feel very accomplished of playing it, and beating it, and it was a great Game Pass game, and they should be very proud of what they made with Hi-Fi Rush. It's got a great, unique look and feel to it, and playing as that stupid kid Chai and stuff, and then you got the what's her name? I forgot her name, but I remember Chai. And then you got the little cat, robotic AI cat that the girl basically possesses to talk to you and stuff. That's pretty interesting. A lot of interesting stuff in it. It's all music based and stuff. It's a really trippy flow. It's got the graphic arts style, the shader graphics art style is just top notch in Hi-Fi Rush. Definitely, I suggest people checking that out as a game. Let's just continue on. Persona 5 Royale. Of course, you guys seen me play a bunch of that. I played a bunch of that on stream, I think. I streamed some of that. I played a bunch of that. Had my fun with Persona 5 Royale. Finished that game. Didn't think I'd ever finish that game, but I did. Because, remember, I played that other game called Like a Dragon, or should I say Yakuza Like a Dragon, and that got me into going back and playing the latest Persona 5 Royale game at the time, and playing that and beating that. I'm like, wow. Then I went back into Persona 4. I'm like, I played a bunch of this already. I was playing a little bit more, but then I went into the other Persona Tactica game, and it's like, am I ever going to play and beat Persona 4 Golden? I don't know. I have it. That's all that matters. One Step After Fall. It's a walking based simulator. You walk to one place, walk to another, collect items, all that stuff. What more to say about it? It was an interesting little thing that gave me some extra achievement points, and it was an interesting game that they made. It was just a walking game, walking click on stuff kind of game, walking clicker game. And it was a Game Pass game, played on the Series X, and I finished that one as well. Like a Dragon-ition, yes, taking the Like a Dragon series to a new level, going back in time. This is based off of the original, an older Like a Dragon-ition type of game. It wasn't even with the Yakuza characters. They remastered the game, excuse me for the yawn and talk, but they remastered the game and put in the Yakuza characters like the Kiryu, Majima, and all of them to make it as like a Dragon game over at Raigoku Studios. And they made something really interesting. I liked going back into the old Japanese times and with a sword and a gun and stuff like that. And Kiryu is a different kind of a character in there, even though he is still Kiryu, and fighting and shooting and playing that and finishing that. It also has that Epic's music score in there as well as the end credits music. Oh my God, I love that. I loved it so much I had to rip it onto my my music player so I can listen to that. It's just really an epic game that they had, and loved it, loved playing it, loved the style, the fighting styles in the Like a Dragon-ition game, and I played it on the Xbox and finished that and had a lot of fun. The next game, Power Wash Simulator, it's all that you have to know it to be. You're power washing all these weird things, from vehicles to buildings to, at the end, a giant spoiler alert, alien saucer or alien spaceship, and played that on the Series X and then went to the PC to play it, finished that. I'm surprised I did. I didn't think I was going to spend so much time power washing items for fun. But I guess a video game that's a power washing a simulator game, it's great fun. And I know they do have the DLC and stuff out now, but I'm like, I think playing just the base game gave me enough stuff to power wash and get done. Now, if they make a Power Wash Simulator 2 down the road and that comes on Game Pass and stuff, of course I'm going to go out and give it a try and get more achievements for it and stuff. But that was a smash hit. I didn't think I was going to like it, because I tried other simulator games. I played Deer Simulator, which was crazy weird and stuff. That was fun. I beat that a long time ago. I tried playing that Lawnmower Simulator. I didn't have it on this list because I played a little bit of it and I hated it. I had to get rid of that. That was horrible. Talking about horrible games, though, next on this list that I got here, Redfall for PC. I tried to get into it. I tried liking it, folks, just like a lot of other people. I tried to like Redfall. but it just fell short of it just fell short of me wanting to kill the vampires and stuff. I don't know. I think they could have made it a lot better. I think they could have had more enemies in there, more stuff to do, better fighting abilities and stuff for me to play and beat. It reminded me a little bit of how the Alan Wake games are at Redfall. Now that I'm watching Alan Wake 2 and I'm watching people play it, I'm like, that reminds me of Redfall a little bit. And I know some people are going to hate me for saying that, but Redfall, I tried to like it. I'm like, what's so bad about firing, shooting? And I watched other people play it a bit, and I was like, maybe I should try this. Because, fighting, shooting, it was okay. And then I'm just like, this is so boring. It's not that I couldn't play it. Like, it's not unplayable. It's just, it was boring. Redfall is just so boring, and there was nothing to it. And so upsetting on what came out. And a lot of people said this is was the downfall of Xbox, this Redfall game. This is the black mark on Bethesda's games and stuff. And it caused a lot of heat and a lot of headaches over at Bethesda. Pete Hines, before he got out of there after Starfield, oh boy, Redfall. They tried something that just never worked out. And it was a game that probably should have never came out, but Microsoft and Xbox wanted it out because they needed a game for that month, because a lot of their games that they wanted as first-party games that were going to be day one Game Pass games weren't being finished and coming out. And, you had stuff like that Halo Infinite and stuff, and just failure after failure, and it's just not the best thing for them. But Redfall, not finished. Tried, played a bunch of it. Just couldn't get into it. It's just too boring. What isn't boring, and this is just a click adventure, click on the PC adventure kind of a game, story-based game. Coffee Talk Episode 2, Kbps and Butterfly. Played on PC, finished that game. It's just a click and point adventure game, story-based adventure game. Basically, you run this coffee shop in this, and it seems to be New York City, but in a different kind of New York City where all these creatures live. It's like, what do you call it? Fairy Tale Land or something like that, or like the Wolf Among Us is in. It's like that. It's like not storybook Fairy Tale Land, but it's got all these weird creatures and monsters and aliens and stuff that live among us, and they come to my coffee shop to drink different coffees and different drinks and stuff. And I'm the coffee bartender there that makes the drinks, talks to them, forms relationships, sometimes makes some latte art. You can do they have this little mini game stuff where you can make your latte art and stuff like that. Really interesting games. And this is the second one of the Coffee Talk episodes. I'm sure there's going to be a third one eventually, and then I'll get that on Game Pass. But it's an interesting game. It's just a nice, chillaxing game where it's like if I was playing the Phoenix Wright games right now, which I took a pause on, of course, again. But less, gotta hurry. It's just nice, calm, smooth. There's no time limit or anything. You're just making drinks, doing this, chatting it up, learning people's backstories, helping them out in their maybe some decision making and stuff, giving them advice. It's like running a coffee shop, and it's a pretty good, fun thing. If you want to try it out, they're both Coffee Talk and Coffee Talk Episode 2 are on Game Pass, and definitely games you might want to play, especially if you can play them on PC or something. Or maybe the ROG Ally might have been a good choice, but I didn't plan on the ROG Ally. I should have. Maybe the next one I'll try, and I could tap on the screen and play it. I don't know, but very much fun. Skyrim for PC, played a bunch of that. Wanted to get back into that. Wanted to see how the PC version of Skyrim was, especially when they updated it. When Bethesda updated it and remastered it a bit. It's fun. It's a bit different than the Elder Scrolls of Tamriel on Xbox on the, because that's an open world. That's an online game. This is just your basic game. I don't know. I want to get back into more Skyrim, but I don't think I ever will. I know I played Skyrim so many times and I never beat it. And I'm just continuing that tradition of not beating it and putting down I didn't finish this game, even though I could go into it. And I just never did. I got very close at one time to finishing and beating Skyrim. I just never did because I just like, I don't know. It was just too much game. Sometimes there's just too much game to play. And it's just like, okay, I got to go away from it. It's still on my PC, but will I ever get back into Skyrim? I don't know. I got it there just in case if I want to go back to the old friend, but so many games, so little time. Slayer's X Terminal Aftermath Vengeance of the Slayer. Played it for PC. Definitely did not finish that game. I wanted to give it a try. It looked like an old school kind of Doom meets Duke Nukem Forever type of game. But this game got so annoying. The character or whatever talking or whatnot the world itself got so annoying in that Slayer's X Terminal Aftermath game that I just did not want to play more of it. I tried playing more of it, and then at a point I'm just like, oh, I got so sick of it, and I just quit playing it. So definitely didn't finish that. I played on the Rogue Ally. It played great on there. It looked great, but it just was annoying as fuck. It was annoying as hell, and I just had to get out of it. I had to get out of it, and I had to delete it. And I highly recommend nobody ever play that Slayer's X Terminal Aftermath Vengeance of the Slayer because it's okay, but you're going to get annoyed to high hell with the character. And sure, I could turn off the sound and music, but you got to hear the enemies around you and stuff, and yeah. Even though it had, like I said, that old school Doom feel and play and look and stuff and all that stuff and Duke Nukem play, feel and look, I just couldn't, and I can't recommend it. No. But I could recommend you if you want to get back into the original Gears of War game again and you haven't done it and you want to play it on PC, Gears of War Ultimate Edition. I played that again. I played through the story. It's been a while since I played that Gears of War original story. Oh, but they had achievements for the Ultimate Edition on PC, so I had to play it. It's on Game Pass. I had to play it, and I had to play it on PC, and it looked great. It played great, and getting back into Marcus Phoenix's shoes again with the Lancer and all that. Oh boy, that was a fun, simple story. I even beat Commander Ram super easily. Before, it was so hard to beat Ram. And then this time around, I beat him like in no time. I had like all the best weapons. I had all the best strategy. And I just whooped that General Ram's ass like in no time. I just like boom, boom, boom. I think I have that on video too. If you watch the video, I think I have that on, I captured on video. So, and it was a little trick too, because if you go to a certain spot when you come out, I guess you get stuck or something. You just keep firing at him and then you beat him. And then it's like, okay. And it was great. It was great, and makes me want more Gears of War for the future. Now, they're up to Gears 5. Gears 5, the gameplay was fun. The open world was very bad because it was a bunch of nothing. That's the only reason I didn't like the open world nature of Gears 5, but the fighting and shooting was fun. What they got to go back to in Gears 6, if they are doing a Gears 6, they just got to do something good. Make it like the original Gears of War games. Finish off the story. Get it done. And then they can reboot the series or whatever down the road. Make a whole new different Gears of War series. They can even make a whole new... Excuse me, I'm just moving around my chair here. I get a little antsy sometimes. They just got to make a Gears of War game for the future. Make it all fresh, brand new. Have a new protagonist. They don't have to have Marcus Phoenix. They can have somebody else. And they got to redo it from the beginning again. Finish it off with 6. Finish off the story. Get it right. And just redo it again. And maybe remaster everything. Make a nice remastered collection of the Gears of War collection. At least the trilogy. The first 3. Make a Gears of War remastered trilogy. I would love to play that. Also, they should make Judgment Remastered Judgment game. I know a lot of people frown upon Gears of War Judgment, but I loved the multiplayer of Gears of War Judgment. Played through the story. I know the story was about Barrett and how he got disaccommodated and all of that in the Gears and stuff, Command and all that, and what his backstory was, but the multiplayer was fun as hell. You had the one where you could be either the locusts or the people, and it was basically one faction had to protect something, the other faction was to destroy something, and you were to go back and forth and all that stuff. And I loved playing as like the locust centipedes and stuff, and I'd be bashing and eating away at their defenses, at their fences and all that, and getting in the bases. Oh, I had a blast with that. That was the most fun. Now, playing the original Gears of War and playing at a slower pace of the online shooter, which that'll never come back because people want it fast and super fast and all that stuff, and I wanted a little bit more slowed down online multiplayer. I used to play a lot of that and be really good at that too. I would love them to bring back the original honky-chonky, slow, bouncing around and shooting kind of a thing for online shooters. But we live in different times now, and everything's got to go fast-paced, and I don't like that. I was an older guy that can't hit buttons and click triggers as fast as other people. That's harder for somebody like me. But back to the original thing here, playing Gears of War Ultimate Edition again and finishing on PC. Mwah! Beautiful. A blast from the past. That was one of the, original games next to Halo and stuff that I played on the 360 when I went to the dark side and went to the Xbox side. Oh boy, it was a great time to be a gamer back in that day. Another game that I still think I have on the PC that I played a bunch of but did not finish yet, and I would like to get back into it, but like I said, it's one of those games you want to have time for. You can't have any other games on the list, so I don't think I'm going to get into it anymore, so who knows. House Flipper. House Flipper, something like Power Wash Simulator, but you're flipping houses by fixing them, cleaning them up, fixing them up, adding a coat of paint and decorating, and making it like to what people want, standards that they wanted. There's different standards for different jobs you want to take, and then you earn money. You can buy your own houses and flip your own houses and stuff, make more money. It's a really nice, interesting game for somebody like me that just likes sometimes a calm game and you want to get back into it once in a while and do some crazy shit. And but it's something I just really haven't. After Power Wash Simulator, I was like, okay, House Flipper, I gave it a chance. It plays pretty well. I just don't think I'll ever finish that game. Who knows? Maybe I'll get back into it. I don't know. I got all these other games to play. I don't know. I might even have to delete it off my system. But I've been playing on PC. It plays fabulously. A game I have not finished. Super Lucky's Tale, another game that I never finished, but I was actively playing, but I don't know if I'm going to keep playing. Basically, I should say Super Lucky's Tale for PC and Super Lucky's Tale I've been playing for PC, which I played both of those on the ROG Ally. Great little platforming type of games for the ROG Ally. Haven't finished either of them, but they were fun to play. Don't know if I'm going to keep them on my system. Don't know if I'm going to get back into them at all because, like I said, I got bigger, better games to play. They were fun. Maybe I'll keep Super Lucky's Tale, new Super Lucky's Tale, but maybe I'll get rid of... I'll get rid of Super Lucky's Tale, but I'll keep new Super Lucky's Tale because it's just a fun thing to get back into and do a little bit of platforming. They do it. It does it really well, and playing as a fox in this open world type of scenario, very fun, definitely. Then I got Wolfenstein: The Old Blood here again. Did I? Oh, the New Order. Okay, I played the New Order, and then I played the Old Blood. Okay, which I played on Series X and PC and have not finished. That's right, I played that because I played the New Order a little bit more, but I went into the new Old Blood because even though I should play the New Order first because that was the first of the newer Wolfenstein games, I played a little bit of the Old Blood because that was something I needed some of those reward points for, and it was good. Play them both on the Series X and PC just because sometimes these rewards achievements, you got to play on the Xbox to get them and not the PC, which is, I don't know, I feel like a double standard for Microsoft because it's like, who cares where you play it on Game Pass from or get it from Game Pass and play it on from. It should just be Game Pass. This is a Game Pass game. Play it and get the reward, not, oh, you got to play on Xbox. How about if you don't own an Xbox? Or better yet, how about if you don't own a PC? You know, it's kind of this or that. Luckily for me, I own both an Xbox and a PC, so it doesn't really matter. But for most, they want to stick to the games they want to stick to. But it's another fun game, Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, you know, continuing on where the Wolfenstein games are. I got into it a bunch, and then I had to drop it for a little bit because I'm like, just doing it for the achievements and stuff. Gears Tactics for PC, did not finish it. It just got too hard for me. That's one of those games like Persona 5 Tactica and, like Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle games, turn-based strategy. Very fun. Love the Gears Tactics fun. I just got to a point where it got so challenging for me and my brain was just frying. And I'm like, okay, I'll get out of it. I know, I might give her upper on games, but what I think is if I try a level or something and I try a level like 20 times, and I'm not joking here, I tried doing a certain level in Gears Tactics 20 times and I could not beat it. And I'm like, well, if I'm on my 20th time and I can't beat it, and there's no way they're letting me go past it and to do another level or something or do something else, I just got to call it quits. I tried my hardest. I tried my darndest 20 times in a row, and I'm like, okay, maybe I got to get off of Gears Tactics. And I played it on the PC, but I also played it on the ROG Ally. And it looked beautiful. It played beautifully. It's a graphics intense game, and it plays on the ROG Ally quite well. On this list, you will notice I say ROG Ally on a lot of these games because I wanted to try out these games on the ROG Ally, see which PC games looked and performed well on the ROG Ally or didn't, and a lot of these games worked very, very well. Most of these games work very, very well on the ROG Ally. That ROG Ally, even though it's a little portable gaming PC in your hand to play video games like a Switch, but more advanced, it does a great job. It does a phenomenal job at playing these games, and Gears Tactics was, for when I played it on the PC, on my big PC here, that would take up a lot of horsepower and stuff. But playing on ROG Ally, it was just like running buttery smooth. And I was like very impressed with that game. And I was playing on higher settings too on the ROG Ally. And I was impressed on what it could do for Gears Tactics. And Gears Tactics is fun and all. But, you know, for somebody like me, I want to go play through a story. I want to play through a game and not get too much challenge. I like a little challenge. I just don't want to be super challenged with stuff. And because I want to get through games and stuff. And when I hit that brick wall, and like I said, 20 times on a level and I still can't beat it, and they're not letting me advance or even giving me any help on how to beat the level, I just said, okay, it's not, the rest ain't for me, I guess. So I had to drop out of it. Maybe I'll come back to it one day, but who knows. Went back and played Yakuza 0 again, but this time on the PC. Finished that sucker because it's Yakuza 0. Why not? Playing as Kiryu in the first episode of the Yakuza series. Why not? Played it on my ROG Ally. Beautiful. Best thing to play it on, which is what I'm going to talk about in the near future when I play Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. And I'll talk about this now. I might as well talk about it now. But my plan is for Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth in January, because I'm going to buy it on the Xbox store. I can play it on both the console, the Xbox Series X, and PC. So I get basically 2 for the price of 1, which is the reason I'm going to buy it digitally. I know that's a weird word because I could get Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth physically as a physical copy for Xbox and stuff. But I said to myself, if I'm paying $70 for this game, I'm going to want my choice so I can play it on the Xbox, but I can also play it on the PC. And then I can also play on the ROG Ally and I can get my achievements. So what I'm thinking is, even though I probably won't play it on the Xbox, I'm going to play it on the ROG Ally and the PC. So when I do my future Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth live streams on Yakuza Like Me, on the next Yakuza Like Me series, I'll play the main story and stuff, but then I'll do all the side stuff and the grinding and stuff, side missions stuff on the ROG Ally and be able to play that anywhere I want instead of just being stuck here on the PC. Even though it's going to play beautifully on the PC, I can play it on my handheld as I play it on the desktop and have a bunch of fun time. Especially if it does have that Doki Doki or whatever called island, the Paduku Island or something, and it's like an actual Animal Crossing game that you can play on the side of this game, of the main game. Because if I could do that, I'm going to be playing a lot of that on my ROG Ally because I do love me some of that Animal Crossing goodness. But yeah, so much stuff that I cannot wait to play, especially Yakuza-like stuff. But going back to the original Yakuza game, because here's the thing. All the Yakuza games that I played on the Xbox and got all the achievements for, all those games that are not only on Game Pass for PC right now, but I bought them all anyways because they were a really cheap price on Xbox for PC, Game Pass PC prices. All those Yakuza games on PC are their own separate achievements, which is phenomenal. I think up to Like a Dragon or Yakuza Like a Dragon, I think that might be sharing achievements. Same with Yakuza Like a Dragon Gaiden. That shares its achievements between Xbox and PC. So at least that's what I think. I should check it out on the Xbox, but I'm pretty sure that shares its achievements now. So, but those all the way up to 6, all the way up to the Song of Life, those all have their own achievements. That's why I went back to play Yakuza 0 because I'm like, I already played this Yakuza 0, enough. Maybe I'll get back into it someday. And then I'm like, I could get all fresh new achievements. That's what gets me back into these games. If I can play it for a fresh new batch of achievements, going back in. Same with Kiwami and Kiwami 2. I'm going to play those and Yakuza 3, Yakuza 4, Yakuza 5, and 6. I'll play them all again just because I could get a whole separate thing of achievements, But, and plus I don't have to live stream them either. I could just play on my own terms on the ROG Ally, and I got a bunch of games for the ROG Ally now. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That thing is a portable wonder of gaming. But playing again, seeing the story again, getting rehashed of the original story with Yakuza 0 again, just, so amazing. It holds up great. It plays great. It's a great open world fighting game. Definitely got to check it out for the story. I keep telling people at work, you got to play the Yakuza games. You got to start with Yakuza 0, and you're going to get hooked into it. You're going to want to play them. You're going to want to beat the stories. And I seem to not get through to some people, but maybe eventually I will. Maybe eventually they will want to get into it and fight and play, because I'm telling you guys, those Yakuza games, the Yakuza series is phenomenal. And then there's that new game, Street Fighter 6, talking about fighting games. Love it. Didn't finish it, of course, because it's a game you never really technically finish, even though if you do finish it. But haven't finished the storyline, but I've been playing a lot of that. That might be one of those things I might be streaming on my holiday streaming. I want to get back into playing more Street Fighter 6. A phenomenal game. I'm glad Street Fighter is back on the Xbox again. Last one in Street Fighter 5, it was only was it on PC? I forgot if it went on even in the PC. It was mostly PlayStation. It might have been PC too, but it was mostly PlayStation, and it was off the Xbox for that time period, and that was a dark period. And hopefully now they just realized, we're going to put it on Xbox and stuff going forward, because you can't just keep it on one system. We're not Final Fantasy, where they like to keep all their Final Fantasies on the PlayStation. But Street Fighter 6 was an amazing phenomenon that came out, and Capcom did a phenomenal job with it, from the music, the characters, everything. And definitely looking forward to what they're going to do more with Street Fighter 6. Now, like I said, as a note, I got to continue on with the Street Fighter 6 open world street fighting slash story of the game, which I think was a great addition. They did something really good and really interesting with that open world ness of Street Fighter 6, and like I said, I got to get back into that. Plus, getting back into, you could create your own character. I have my own character that I used to fight with. That was awesome. That was a new addition to the Street Fighter series. Create your own Street Fighter character, fight. You can fight online, all that stuff. Oh, phenomenal fighting game. Definitely phenomenal. Street Fighter 6, definitely highly recommend it. Like I said, another game I haven't finished. Been playing on the ROG Ally, Persona 4 Golden. Got back to pretty much almost where I left off on the Vita version. Yes, the Vita version. The PlayStation Vita, remember the PSP? And then you remember the Vita? Oh my God. That's how far long ago since I played Persona 4 Golden. And I got to the one part, and I'm getting close to that same part where I left off and I stopped playing. This is where I'm like, Mr. Mike, maybe you should continue on and try to play more of this Persona 4 Golden. I know I was dabbling onto it, but then Persona 5 Tactica came out, and I'm like, ugh. So maybe after Tactica, I'll go back to Persona 4 Golden. But then, Persona 3 is coming back. Or is it Persona 3? Persona 3 Remastered and stuff and all the other stuff. And it's like, oh my God. Am I going to be burned out for Persona and stuff for the upcoming future because I'm playing too much of it? Maybe. But, played a shit ton of Persona 4 Golden. And even though it's not as amazingly good as Persona 5 Royale was, it's bringing me back to when I was still back in high school and stuff and playing on my Vita, playing games like this. And, it's a great turn-based RPG. They do at Atlas, they do some great games. They make some great games. You got them, got Goku Studios, all under Sega, under the Sega publishing brand. Sega's got some great game publishings. And if you haven't heard, both the Yakuza series of games and the Persona series of games are the ones keeping Sega good in the good black, as they would say, in money-wise, because those series are so popular. Even the Sega series franchise, but I heard the latest Sega games were pretty bad, but still, those are the main games that are holding Sega up over water right now, and it's like, well, they're very good franchises, very good games and game franchises, so why not? But been playing a bunch of that. Went back in for a Halloween special, Dead Space Remastered. I got to get into this again. I got to play this. This is another game I got to get back into and play and beat again. I loved the Dead Space games. Loved all three of them, especially the original Dead Space. Got a lot done into it. Been playing on the Series X. Have not finished it yet. It's on my Xbox. Got to continue to play it. I got to get back into it and continue to play it. I got to kick my own ass to play more of it. What I could tell you that I did play and beat, Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty DLC. Played on the Series X. Finished it. I had to continue. Even though I played and beat Cyberpunk 2077, I said to myself, Mr. Mike, they got this Phantom Liberty DLC that just dropped. It has a whole new story to it, and it's going to be the only one and final DLC that they're ever making for Cyberpunk 2077. So I had to purchase it, had to play it, loved it, beat it. I love Cyberpunk 2077, even when it was in its broken stages. I played it day one. I fell in love with it, even though the radio stations never worked on my game. That was the only thing broken in my game. My radio stations would not work. I couldn't listen to any of the great Cyberpunk music, which later I just ripped and downloaded for myself to listen to on my MP3 phone and stuff like that. So, but a great game. Series X, amazing. Looks amazing. I have it for also, I have Cyberpunk 2077 for the PC and stuff in a ROG Ally. Only for the fact that I want to get into those and maybe play a little craziness with the PC versions. I know you could do a lot of crazy stuff and, have some extra fun. Played a bunch of Microsoft Solitaire Collection. Of course, that's another game you just cannot finish. So I put in the not finishing category. Have it on PC, because where else do you want to play it? Sure, I have it on the ROG Ally too. I should put it on the ROG Ally. Here, hold on. PC and ROG Ally. Hold on. And ROG Ally. Here, let's see here. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Dun. And ROG Ally. Oh, isn't this fun podcast? Me typing stuff down. So yes, been playing Microsoft Solitaire Collection. If I don't feel like playing any other games, I want something to boot up very quickly and just have a round in, I'll play some Solitaire. Microsoft Solitaire Collection. Just something I play a little bit in and not. I'm not the best at it, but I have me some fun with it. Let me take a quick drink here, folks, because my throat is starting to hurt because it's getting very dry. Very dry in this house this time of season here. Oh. Need a little bit of wetness in my throat because it was just getting super dry and super ouchy. Next on my list, Vampire Survivors. A game that I don't think I'll ever finish that game either, but played so much of that. Been playing so much of the Vampire Survivors on my PC. I played a bunch of it on my Series X. Been playing a bunch of it on my ROG Ally. Fun to boot up. Fun to take all the many characters and go around and with the stick and not have to do anything else and make choices of what items you want to use the battle with. And it's just, definitely a one stick shooter game that anybody could pick up and play. Just something that anybody could pick up and play, and very fun. Very interesting graphic art. Very fun. Eventually, though, I'm sure they'll make a Vampire Survivors 2. Right now, they're just making bank with Vampire Survivors with all the little DLCs and stuff. They actually have one DLC that's actually for sale that you can buy and play, but they're making so much money on Vampire Survivors right now. I wouldn't doubt that they wouldn't be making a Vampire Survivors 2 some way down the future. Even though they have all those clones, they have all those clone games like, what's it called? I have it marked down here. Army of Ruin, which is also another great one. I'll talk about that in the near future, but, Vampire Survivors, definitely a game you want to try out on anything. And it's on everything. I think it's even on mobile. So if you want to try to play Vampire Survivors, play it. Because it's available everywhere. Diablo 4. Played on the Series X. Just a demo. Waiting to get it down the road when it's on Game Pass. Hopefully for PC. Because I'd rather play Diablo 4 on PC. It is more Diablo. I know a lot of people got burned out on it and it didn't do what it quite needed to do to get people to stay in it, but I still hear a lot of people are playing Diablo 4. But yeah, I'm going to play it. Like I said, I looked at achievements though. Those are some bad achievements in the game. They really don't want you to get these achievements until you beat like a lot of shit and do a lot of shit, and then you get these achievements. But hey, that's a Blizzard game. Blizzard wants Diablo 4 to be a challenge. They want you to have a challenge on getting your achievements. Hey, fine by me. I still play a bunch of Diablo 4 when I get it. I just didn't want to spend money on it because I knew eventually it's going to come out on Game Pass, either just for Xbox or Xbox and PC. I hope, like I said, I hope it comes out for Game Pass PC as well, because that is something I'll definitely be playing a lot of on my PC. With the graphics and just going around shooting things. Because Diablo's that looter shooter that you all want to play. And like I said, got a lot of slack, got a lot of beatdown, and a lot of people not talking about it anymore, but it's still one of those bigger stream games out there, I guess, for Diablo 4. Here's a game that came out that was supposed to be, one of those successors to the Dead Space trilogy that was made by the original a couple Dead Space people that made Dead Space, but didn't quite get off the ground. And a lot of people said, it wasn't as good as it should have been, but I bought it anyways when it got cheap. And I'm playing on the Series X, but we'll see if I continue to do that. That'd be the Callisto Protocol. It's okay. It's Dead Space-ish, but it has its own little gripes and stuff in there, and it doesn't do as much as Dead Space would, like the Dead Space games do. But it's a good attempt. It looks really good. I wasn't going to spend no $70 back in the day for it, but I think I got it for like 30 or less. So that was definitely worth the pennies for the Callisto Protocol. And like I said, a good first attempt. And if they decide to ever make a second one, which I don't think this one was financially good enough, I don't know. We'll find out. But if they ever do get a chance to make a second Callisto Protocol, maybe they'll learn from the first game and from the Dead Space games a bit, and then they might make another one and make it better. Who knows? I don't know, but didn't finish it, but eventually I might want to go back to it. We'll see. I got to play Dead Space first. Then I get back into that. I bet you, you know what? I bet you the time I play Dead Space Remastered again is when they announced that the Dead Space 2 Remastered's coming out, and then I'm like, okay, got to finish the first Dead Space Remastered, then I'll get into the second one, because that's how I think. Game that came out this year that took a little extra time to be cooking in the gaming cooking well or whatever pot. Forza Motorsport 2023, folks. Been playing on Series X and PC. Definitely not finished it. Ported it to the ROG Ally instead because I played it on the PC and the Series X just to show off how it looked on my video game streams. But then I put it on my ROG Ally to play it. It plays very well on the ROG Ally, unlike Forza Horizon, the latest Forza Horizon game, which says I get low memory every time when I try to play it. But Forza Motorsport 2023, amazing looking game. The turning sucks on everything but the ROG Ally for some reason. Like if I got these controllers that are directly connected to the PC and stuff, and the turning, trying to turn your vehicle on a track in that game using my connected controller just really sucks. But on the ROG Ally, for some weird reason, the cars turn a lot better and it plays a lot better. I don't understand that. It doesn't make no sense to me. Couldn't tell you why. And I checked all the settings and I just couldn't tell you why. But yeah, phenomenally looking game, phenomenally playing game. I love the graphics, the textures, everything that they did with it. Sad that they didn't put any musical soundtracks in there or anything. That would have been a nice little touch if they would have did some of that, put some actual in-game music. Even if they made their own produced music in there, it would have been better, but they didn't. And this is a game that came and gone because a lot of people just said, it's okay, but it's got a lot of issues, and people didn't really fall in love with it. I'm sure a lot of diehards fell in love with Forza Motorsport 2023, but it's just one of those other games that came out and it was just like a sitting rock. And that's a shame because I like it a lot up to a point, and I'll get back into once in a while. I'll go on my ROG Ally and I'll boot it up and I'll play a bit of Forza Motorsport 2023 just to drive around and win some races or something. Why not? Starfield, another game that had these high hopes, kind of sizzled out, but still people are playing it and still people are saying it's okay. I enjoyed it. But I understood that Starfield was a Bethesda game. Should I actually say a Todd Howard Bethesda game? I know what he's like. I know what the company's like. And I know when this game was being started making it, a lot of people thought it was more than it was. And that's why they didn't care for the game too much. Me, I liked it a lot. I played it a lot on my PC. I played it a lot on my ROG Ally. And I beat it. I beat Starfield, especially because I did a little cheating. You know, I did this backdoor thing where you could make it so that you can enter in console commands into the game because there's a hidden console you could log into to make commands to either level up something on your character or get certain weapons or other items and stuff, and do a whole bunch of other fun, interesting stuff in Starfield. And in order to continue to keep getting your achievements from the game, you had to install this third-party like backdoor thing that lets you get those achievements still. And I did all that, and of course I cheated a bit in Starfield, but it made Starfield even more fun, at least for me. And I still played hundreds and hundreds of hours of Starfield. And because I enjoyed it, I played through it. I beat the story of it on my own terms and my own way, even though I cheated and leveled up and did some stuff that normally people would say is not a good thing. Hey, if it's your game and it's not affecting anybody else, why not? Let me do what I want to do in it. And I did, and I had a bunch of fun, and I got my Starfield RPG in and out of my system, and I'm like, oh, great. I know they are coming out with DLC and stuff eventually for Starfield, but I'm not too interested in it. I just wanted to play it, see what Todd Howard and the gang had for it, and not too much, but fun enough for me to play and beat. So that's it for Starfield, at least till the next game in so many years. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, I just talked about that many times. Was playing on the Series X, then moved it to the PC. I also think I have it on the ROG Ally. I should take it off the ROG Ally because I know I'm never going to play it on that, but I have it on PC. I want to beat it. I haven't beaten it yet, but eventually I want to beat Phoenix Wright. Because that Ace Attorney trilogy is really, 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 really good. The stories, the things, even though I watched the anime of this game many, many times, and I basically know what's going to happen in the game, the Phoenix Wright trilogy games and stories, I still like them. I still think it was a series, and I know this is just, this has been remastered to the consoles of now and everything since it was out on the 3DS or something, or DS? I forgot how long ago. Was it DS or 3DS when the Phoenix Wright trilogy came out? So long ago to right now, holy cow. Talk about a series that just screamed turning you into a cop. Or not a cop, a lawyer, I should say. Sorry. But I was like a cop because you do a lot of clue finding and stuff, and you do a lot of mystery stuff on the side in Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy. So, yeah. So I want to get back into that eventually. I want to grind it out and beat it. I want to beat the Ace Attorney trilogy so I could go on to other stuff, but, it's just one of those things that I do. The Walking Dead Season 1, PC finished. Is that all I have on there? Oh, yeah, I have Walking Dead Season 2. And I should have the other Walking Deads on here. Why don't I have the other Walking Deads on here? I got to put The Walking Dead. Let's see here. I have them all scattered, too. That's another thing. The Walking Dead Michonne. I think that's how you spell Michonne. Might have spelled it wrong. I could fix it down the road. Is it O-N-N-E or O-N? It's one of them. And that would be PC, ROG Ally. I don't know why I didn't put ROG Ally on here. A lot of stuff I got to change here. And I finished it. So I finished all the Walking Dead Telltale games. Let's just say that. All from Walking Dead 2, Walking Dead New Frontier, which I don't know why I don't have that on there. Walking Dead Michonne, Walking Dead the final season. I played it all, beat it all. What more can I say? Played them all, beat them all. They're amazing. Those Telltale games are amazing. So amazing. As I'm trying to enter them right here, The Walking Dead, or else I forget the final. Actually, I got to put the New Frontier. I've got to look this up so I can put them on right. Let's see here. They should be not too far down. The final season, Michonne, Michonnne. Yeah, I got it right. Okay. Let's see here. The Walking Dead, A New Frontier. Okay, I got to put a New Frontier, not the. A New Frontier. Tier. Oh, this is some fun podcasting, isn't it? A New Frontier. I should put little asterisks here for these. Except when I put them up on the thing, it's gonna suck when I try to put these up on YouTube. Maybe I'll have to do something with that. I don't know. Because YouTube doesn't like points and all that stuff. They're very weird on stuff like that. A New Frontier, PC, which the Rogue Alley is technically PC. Let's see here. Rogue Ally, and finished. And then now I got to do The Walking Dead, the final season. Let's see here. I could just do this and change that. That would be a smarter thing. I don't know why I didn't do that. Oops, I did not need another point there. The Walking Dead. It's called the final season, right? Yep, the final season. The final season. I'm surprised I didn't put those on there. That was my bad. Some things I forget that I put on there. That's why I got to make a good document. I got to document my shit better next time around, because or else I'm going to forget this stuff. But like I said, and I'm just going to name, even though these are all their own games and they're all part of the Telltale series, it's a big story. Well, what did I do here? Get me out of this. Okay. Woo. I don't know. I skipped and went somewhere else. But yes, I played for all the Walking Dead Telltale games. Like I said, The Walking Dead Season 1, The Walking Dead Season 2, The Walking Dead A New Frontier, Walking Dead Michonne, Walking Dead, the final chapter, or final season, I should say. Played them, beat them, got my extra achievements from them, and the stories are so well done. And I know they're point-and-click adventure games, basically, but they're so good. They're like an anime series on their own, and I'm surprised they didn't do like AMC or what's his name? Kirk Cameron or something like that. The guy that created The Walking Dead, or Skydance, which I think owns still The Walking Dead game series or whatever. I'm surprised they didn't. Was it Blue Sky or something? I forget what it was. I'm surprised they didn't just do an animated series of The Walking Dead, of all these games or whatever. And it would have been fun to watch some of them, but playing them and watching them was just as fun. And if you're someone like me that likes a lot of story-based games, which I do, I like playing my games for the stories. That's why you see a lot of games on here, and most of them are story-based games, because I love the stories of the games. I love that. I love seeing what kind of story they can tell me. And all those Walking Dead games, definitely loved replaying them, beating them, having a bunch of fun again. One last time with them, because now going forward, unless if they have new achievements and new remastered collection of the Walking Dead series, I think I'll be done with them. I played them enough. I played them. This is like the third time I played the Walking Dead series. Third or fourth time. Might have been the fourth time, but I played these Walking Dead series many times, these Telltale games. Definitely worth it. Definitely worth the playthrough. Super Mario Brothers Wonder, not finished, but fun on the Switch. It's a great 2D side-scrolling adventure, just like you would love in your Mario Brothers games. Old school, new school, having a lot of crazy fun, and it's something of a trip. Definitely, they must have been super high on some sort of drugs when they were making this game, because boy, oh boy, everything goes topsy-turvy in the Mario Kingdom, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder, or I should say the Wonder Kingdom. They're in the Wonder Kingdom because everything just goes crazy when you eat that giant turnip thing, mushroom giant turnip thing. Holy cow. Definitely a great game. The colors, the music, the gameplay, definitely something that I'm glad I own, that I can pick up and play anytime I want, have some fun, beat a lot of levels in it. We'll go back to play more of that. Another game on my list that I played a bunch of, but then I had to quit playing because I just don't have time to be just doing online gameplays and stuff like that, and that was Splatoon 3. It's a sad existence, but one of those main reasons was I don't want to pay Nintendo another $20 just to play one online game. And an online game that you can't talk to your friends or anybody with because you gotta get the app on your phone, or you gotta talk through people on the phone, or you gotta get Discord or something because they don't got no online chat, because Nintendo is way behind the times when it's with online, and they just don't want to go forward with online. They don't want us to enjoy interacting with other people online. They think it's still a children's toy, a children's family toy, and they want to keep it away from the outreaches of the rest of the world, which is good on some parts. It keeps the bad people away, but it's bad on other parts because then you can't interact with your friends and stuff online. Even though Nintendo Switch Online is okay, it's not the best, but had a blast with Splatoon 3. Maybe sometime in the future, maybe I'll put in 20 more bucks and I'll go back in and play more Splatoon 3 down the road, at least before they make the next Switch and another Splatoon 4 or something, because Splatoon 3 sold quite well, folks, so they're going to make another Splatoon game down the road, because that game sold quite well, just like the other Splatoon game, Splatoon 2 and stuff. So fun online battle game, shooting paint. It's like a giant paintball fun game with these characters called Inklings and stuff, but I had to get out of it because I had other games and stuff to play, and it's just something on my list that I'm like, But I don't think you can ever finish Splatoon 3 either. So unless if I wanted to beat the storyline, which I didn't play the story mode too much because I'm in it for playing the online Splatoon 3 and stuff, so I played mostly that. But if I wanted to consider finishing it, maybe beating the story mode of Splatoon 3 would have did it, but I didn't. I didn't get involved too much with I wasn't too involved with the Splatoon 3 story. Let's just say it wasn't something that I truly cared about. Just the online. So I got my money's worth out of it. And I'll come back to play it again one more time before they kick it offline or something, or everybody goes to Splatoon 4. Talking about 4s, Pikmin 4 for the Switch. Didn't finish it, but it is a fun game. Pikmin 1 through 3, a little bit more challenging if you wanted to play those games. And Pikmin 4 fixes all that and makes it really easy for anyone to pick up and play. And you got a little dog this time, a little alien dog to help you on your adventures. And the game looks phenomenal as ever. The puzzles, everything's very much easier. The countdown timer is a lot easier. Pikmin 4 is a really good Pikmin game. I will be getting back into that game, playing that some more because I had a ball. I had a blast playing Pikmin 4. And you're not just playing as Mario, you're playing as your own character this time. You can play as your own character, and you can get all these other Mario and all the other captains. You free them and stuff, and it's a bunch of fun. It's a Pikmin game. It's throwing these little different colored Pikmin at certain things, at their own color things, at creatures that you want them to kill, and just fun. Just fun. It's a fun, what should I say? It's a fun dictatorship game. Yep. Even though this is an oldie, but it's still a goodie, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Anybody? Since the Wii U days to when they ported to the Switch and they called it Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It was always a phenomenal thing. And after they introduced all the DLC packs that you can purchase in their DLC expansion, I think it was like $30 for the whole DLC expansion pack at the time. Totally worth it. All the new vehicles, all the new tracks, all the new characters and stuff that I got throughout the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe pack. Amazing. On the Switch, basically finished it all, but you never finish it all because you always want to go back to do more racing. That is a phenomenal racing game, which is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And those DLC packs make it open it up to even better, even making it even better. Mario Kart 8, a definite fun racing game in the Mario Kingdoms and stuff, and all the different Mario. They bring back all the different kinds of Mario levels and stuff. It's just like they did with Super Smash Brothers and added all those characters and everything over time and supporting it over time. Same thing they did with Mario Kart 8. Supported it over time, added all this DLC. I feel like I got my money's worth 10 times over. I love getting back into playing some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe once in a while. It is just a phenomenal Mario Kart racing game. Multi-bente. Especially with those DLC packs. I already talked about a bit of Army of Ruin. It's like Diablo-esque, vampires. I should say more Vampires Survivors-esque in its way. I played a bunch of it. It's only on the Series X. I wish I could have got it for the PC, for Game Pass PC. Now, I think it's on Steam, but I didn't want to get it because I wanted to get achievements for it. I wish I could get it on Xbox PC Game Pass or pay for it on the Xbox PC version of it, because then I played on my ROG Ally. That would have been a great ROG Ally game. But Army of Ruin, like I said, it's basically a ripoff of Vampire Survivors, but really fun to get into. Not going to finish it, but going to keep going back in there and play it, especially if I get a lot of more Vampire Survivors done. You know, it's another take into the Vampire Survivors genre, let's just say. Already basically talked about all the Walking Dead games. I didn't go through every one of them and say what is what, but the Walking Dead series of games, amazing. The Telltale games, amazing. From the first season to season 2, Michonne, New Frontier, the final season. Oh my God. Based around the first game with Lee and Clementine, you get introduced to Clementine, and then she becomes the protagonist of most of these games, except for the Michonne. Michonne is its own game, and it's in the series. It's basically shows what Michonne's been doing and up to. If you watch the Walking Dead TV series ever, you'll know Michonne and who she is, and you know this is basically the Michonne Telltale game is what she basically was doing in her past before she went back and met up with Rick and the others. So a lot of great stuff, a lot of great Telltale funness, and the Walking Dead series of games, amazing. Not those newer Walking Dead games that I keep hearing are really bad, but these are really, really good. Like a Dragon, the man who erased his name. I just talked about that, didn't I? Finished that game, basically, on PC. Really fun. Another great series in games history that it's like, oh my God, Kiryu, he's his own Clementine character. Holy cow. You just fall in love with that doofus of a dude, and he's so noble, even though he's a badass ex-Yakuza guy now, and it's just like, oh my God, so amazing. So amazing. Very fun game. Very fun game. Very fun game in the series. Highly recommend it. play all the Yakuza games. I always say, if you want to get into the Yakuza series of games, always start at the beginning. I know that's a lot of games, but start at the beginning because you're going to fall in love and you're going to want to roll through it. You might slow down between, like in the Yakuza 3 through 5 of games, and then you'll get back more on 6, and you'll fall in love with that even more. But Yakuza 0, Kiwami 2, amazing. Yakuza, like I said, 3, 4, and 5, they're good. They're okay. They're a little forgettable here and there, but they're still okay. And then when you get to Yakuza 6, it's just like, oh my God, what the hell? And then Like a Dragon, Yakuza Like a Dragon, when they introduce the turn-based part of it, and Ichiban they introduce is the new protagonist. That's amazing. And then you got, like I said, your spin-off, your Like a Dragon Ishin, and then you got your other spin-off games, the Lost, what is it called? What are they called? I forgot the names already. Oh, shit. It's too many. The Judgment games. Judgment and Lost Judgment with different characters in the same Yakuza universe, but different characters, different things. And then you got, like I said, The Man Who Erased His Name now, and then you're going to have Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. I am the Yakuza boy. I hate to say it. I am the Yakuza boy. I am the Yakuza fanboy here. I love the Yakuza games. Played them all, beat them all, except for the zombie one because they never remastered and re-released that zombie one that I keep hearing about. I heard a lot of people didn't care for it, but I'm interested in that zombie one. But I don't know. Maybe I'll watch somebody play it on YouTube, have it on YouTube or someone who played it. Maybe they'll release it. Maybe they'll say, hey, you know what? Let's release it anyways. Put it on the main consoles and stuff. It is a game in its own, but hey, why not? Dead Island 2, of course, didn't finish, but going to continue to play it. Just started off early on it. Just wanted some more zombie games to play. I like playing zombie games. It's a little tougher, the zombie games, but it has its own uniqueness to it. And even though there's parts where I think that they are overpowered or you get overcumbered a lot by the Walking Dead, undead, and sometimes you get these like undead creatures that are super too powerful, and then you get hit and die in one hit. It's like, sometimes it gets frustrating, but I'm sure if I keep leveling up and keep getting better and better and get better weapons, I'll be able to handle all that a little bit better. Learn my way through it. That's all I gotta say. But it looks phenomenal, plays phenomenal. It's made under the banner of a studio that is under the Bad Studios, the bad Curator, the Embracer Group, and who knows if all these guys are going to be around in the near future. The Embracer just let go a whole bunch more people, so very sad but true. Yeah, sad time. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. Persona 5 Tactica, I just talked about. That's a turn-based strategy game, just like any of the Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle games. If you played those on the Switch, that's what this is like. Amazing. A lot better than I thought it was going to be. I wanted to give it a chance. I did, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting involved in the story a bit in Persona 5 Tactica. I'm getting involved with the characters again and what's going on and what it could bring us into the next Persona 6 game or something down the road, And then finally, another ongoing game, or I should say there's other ongoing games, but ongoing that I picked up because they did a little bit of remastering. They updated it a bit. Killer Instinct, a fighting game series from Rare originally, and then was made by what's their names? Oh shoot, Iron Galaxy, former Iron Galaxy alumni, which you never know. They might bring Iron Galaxy back into the fold. I don't know, for if they want to do another Killer Instinct game. But this got remastered. They added a lot to it, and I put it on my Raw Gala, and I've been playing a little bit of Killer Instinct I needed a nice fighting game for my ROG Ally, and this is it, and it plays phenomenally well. It looks amazing, plays phenomenally well. I love me some Killer Instinct, people. It is definitely something to play in, to play on, and as, and whatnot. And before we go on to some other stuff, games news and games talk and stuff, I have here, which Microsoft, if you're an Xbox fanboy like me and you play Xbox games and PC games and whatnot, I got into this, or Microsoft and Xbox did this nice thing, the 2023 year in review, or should I say my Demonic Horrors 06's 2023 year in review. And they say here they got this whole page is all for me. It's all the games that I played, my lifetime gamer score, current rewards, all that stuff. They basically broke down everything that I was doing up to now from 2023 going into 2024, and they're saying, with 2024 almost here, we thought you would like to take a moment to celebrate the year we had together. You know, something they do a little extra. It's something that you don't see anybody else doing. You don't see Nintendo doing a 2023 review. You definitely don't see PlayStation celebrating the years or the year of gaming that PlayStation players play. They just want more of your money. Microsoft trying to act as the good guys in the gaming verse and in this industry, they came and they made this whole thing. This is a nice achievement. This is nice. This makes me feel happy about being an Xbox gaming fanboy. You know, playing on PC Xbox and on Xbox in general. As a fanboy and loving my Achievos and playing most of my games on Xbox, this makes me feel happy to show my gaming guy here. I should really put this down here. Hold on. I don't have it on here, but hold on. Let me see here. Let me get my screen A on here. I don't usually do this, but I think we could do that now. Let's see. It's going to go boom. Yep, there I am. Oop. Let's put this on here for your video people here. Oh boy. Okay, it's going to be a little small for you guys, but sorry. But hey, what else is new? Here, I'll make it as big as I want to. I want to keep my beautiful face in here as well. Okay. So, there we go. We got the 2023 year in review. So you can see this if you're watching the video portion of this podcast. You can see the loveliness that they just created here on this page, just made for people like us, and they program this, and this is up to the minute. Like, I just got to 141,944. I just got to the 37,001 rewards points that I just got, because I just got a few rewards points earlier before this podcast, and it goes up to the second. It goes right up, and it goes through the 2023 highlights. How much total time of gaming time did I play video games? Now, note, I didn't play as much as other people, but it says here I played it says I played 956 hours of games. That's a lot of gaming. That's almost 1,000 hours of gaming. Now, going into the new year, I'm sure I will get probably up to that 1,000 total time gameplay mark. Almost 1,000 hours of gaming. Played a total of 74 games. That's a little pending because some games I just went into very quickly and went out of, so that's pending. Gamer score points that I got up to now that I just earned in 2023, 15,087 gamer score points that I earned this year. Not bad, not too shabby. Total achievements, 736. 2023 total rewards points, I got plus 99,795. Yes, I did get myself a lot of rewards points because I've been getting a lot of rewards cards for like Amazon gift cards. The one I'm working at now that I have the 37,000 points for, and I'm trying to get like 46,000 points by the end of January. That's going to go for the $50 reward card for Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, which I purchased on Xbox.com. That's $50 off of $70. That means the game is like $23 or something because I add the tax in too. So it's going to cost me like $23 for Infinite Wealth, a brand new $70 Yakuza game. I'm going to get for like $23 because I'll have a $50 Xbox gift card going to that. That's why I like Xbox rewards points. But the reward system is getting a little wonky. Who knows if it's going to last, if it's going to do as good as it used to. They're cutting back a little bit. They're making it a little more challenging to get your rewards points, but I'm still going to do it until they make it really hard for people like me to do it. But still being able to get a $50 reward point card or $50 money card for Xbox that I'm saving up for to get a game going towards a video game. If I would have saved my rewards points before, I would have got that game for free, but whew, that's fun. And it shows you, it breaks down here. We'll go back in this. Top gameplay month, April. I guess I did a lot of gaming in April. Okay. Top genres you played, 35% role-playing, yes, because I love my role-playing. 28% action-adventure, okay. 12% fighting, 11% simulation. That would be Power Wash Simulator down here. 14% other. What's the other? Like card games, stuff like that. And then it has the games. It shows the games here on the list. That goes through a bunch of games that I've played, like Persona 5 Royale, Power Wash Simulator, Forza Motorsport, Yakuza 0, Coffee Talk 2. Here's how you stack up with other players. You're in the top 5% of players for hours played. I'm in the top 5%, people. Top 5%. Oh, yeah. You're in the top 5% of players of gamer score. Not bad. I like being in the top 5. You're in the top 5% of players in achievements unlocked. I like that too. I consider that achievement. Let's see here. Persona 5 Royale, the most number one most played game. Persona 5 Royale, yes, I put a lot of hours into it. As you can tell, 120 hours. Got 705 out of 1,000 gamer score. That 39 out of 52. Rare achievement unlocked, Going Against the Crane. Unlocked on April 2nd, 2023. Only 7.28% of players unlocked it. Good achievement. And it says here you're 10%. You're in the top 10% of this game's most active players. Nice. I like that. Yes, I played a lot of that Persona 5 Royale. Next game with 100 hours, Starfield. Number 2 top game I played. 100 hours, got 780 out of 1,000 achievements, 30 out of 50. I got the achievement Reach for the Stars. You unlocked on September 21st, 2023. Only 1.10% of players unlocked it. Okay. You're in the top 15% of this game's most active players. Okay. Because there's still a lot of people that are hardcore playing that game. Here we go. Power Wash Simulator. Definitely. Almost played 100 hours of this. Got 560 out of the 1,360 achievement points. That's because they got some new DLC out for that now, so there's more. I don't think I'm going to do more. I said to myself, I got to cut back. I played enough Power Wash Simulator. Bucket List. Bucket List was my rarest achievement. You unlocked it on April 16, 2023. Only 0.94% of players unlocked it. Because I'm sure not many people played Power Wash Simulator. You should play it. It is fun. Top 5% of that. And then they got their own 2023. I don't care about that. You can look at that yourself. But just having all this own graphs and stuff that they show just for myself, and they show my gamer pick and stuff, that makes something special. That makes something special. I know it's stupid, but it's something that makes it special for somebody like me. I'm stupid like that. That's something that I have a fun time seeing there. So, but yeah, is pretty cool. I thought that was pretty cool. You could check it out yourself if you're an Xbox gamer or something like that, and you want to check it out. You can just go to Xbox.com. You could go type in 2023 year in review in the search, and then it'll bring you to this thing in the thing. Or if you go to your My Xbox or something, you go to your type in your, go into your account and stuff. Then you can bring this all up and you can see what you did. I like that. I like that Microsoft did that. I hope they do that next year and going forward, because I like looking at, what did I accomplish in gaming in 2023? I think that's pretty funny. I think it's a funny, fun time, and I soaked that shit up. I soaked that shit up, people. I soaked that up with everything, and definitely take a look at that. Before we get into the next part of this extra long holiday fun, happy holidays podcast, GamezAttack podcast section, we're going to take a break. I'm going to take a quick break. Going to get some drinks in me, going to go to the bathroom, maybe have a holiday cookie that I made, chocolate chip cookie that I made yesterday, get my throat back a little bit, and then we'll get back into some stuff that we're going to talk about. Got a few news stories here that we can talk about here. Just a few, not many is out there, and then we can talk about stuff that I want to talk about, and then we'll call it a podcast. How about that? A nice end to the holidays, end to the 2023 year. How about that? So I will be back. You will not notice a thing, but I will be back in 1 second. Okay, let's see. Is everything working again? That's always the scary thing, folks. At least if I accidentally cancel my, or I hit the wrong button on this thing and I stopped the show from recording on this, because I don't do these live, but I pre-tape these podcasts, and if I do hit something on there and it shuts it down, it does save in an OBS, because I record these podcasts in OBS. So at least it saves everything. So that's good. Because we're already in this podcast for 2 hours, folks. So that would be a lot of lost talk on my part. And I don't know. That's a lot of talk that I don't want to go back to. Oh boy. You know what's interesting though? The games news. The games news that we got in this section.
The games news from the past week.
Oh yeah, the games news. Oh boy. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. But we all knew it. I even said in my podcast, E3 is dead. And you know what? Finally, the ESA, or the Entertainment Software Association here, announced that there's no more E3. E3 is dead. What some people say is dead for good. The Electronic Entertainment Expo is dead. After 28 years, folks. 28 years. I'm older than E3. But when did it start? Like 1995 or something, or 92? I forgot. But 28 years. Whew. And it was gonna go one way or another, because now that these big, the big companies, the big three as they like to call them, and other games publishers in the industry and stuff are, got the internet now, and the internet is powerful and is fast. You can play HD videos anytime you want. You can put them up on YouTube, Twitch, whatever, unless if those places go away. If YouTube and Twitch went away, maybe E3 would come back, because unless if there would be another video streaming service, big stream service or something out there, and it wouldn't be TikTok. But I think if they just posted like their own presentations on their own, like, I don't know, websites, and they hosted their own videos, maybe there would be a difference. Maybe it'd be like, okay, we're gonna have to go back to the E3 thing, because we're going to need that coverage from more people, because YouTube and Twitch went under. So that's the thing. if Amazon decides one day they just don't want to do the Twitch thing anymore and they kill it, or if Google decides or something happens to Google in a way, like all their antitrust bullshit and stuff, and there was a thing that maybe they had to get rid of YouTube or close down YouTube or something horrific like that. Not that I don't think they ever will, because I think they make too much money on ads in YouTube, but you know, everybody's looking into everything on Google because they're doing bad. If that ever went away, I think there would be a reason for E3 to maybe come back in a certain way if Jeff Keighley doesn't do something on his end. Because, you know, they got, instead of E3 for the past couple of years, because COVID killed E3 the one year because nobody wanted to do anything that year. And then after that, nobody wanted to go back and do the big presentations at the convention center anymore at LA to do E3. So they're like, well, why don't we just do our own stuff, you know, in our own places and stuff, and do videos and shows and stuff. And then we'll stream them on YouTube and Twitch and stuff like we did before, and we don't have to pay the ESA all this extra exorbitant amounts of money to do it. We could just do it through here. And Jeff Keighley, which he's one of those, if you don't know him, he's the guy for the Game Awards, but before that he used to work at G4 and in, you know, Tech TV G4 and all that other stuff. He's a big like video games presenter. He does all the, he's the guy behind the video games industry, where he's trying to get everybody together in the gaming, because I guess he's a big gamer still. I don't know. It seems like he likes to be a game presenter, but he likes to present the games. He likes to showcase them, and he likes to bring the industry together. And he's trying to get it so that, oh, you don't need E3 anymore. We could just have your presentations, and we can organize everything in the summertime, and we could have Microsoft go and do their thing at this time. Sony could do their thing at this time. And he's trying to bring the industry together to do like the E3, but make it in an organized fashion so people know when other people are going and doing their whole presentation thing. And then he can let us, the public, know when they're going to show off and talk about all their, you know, what they're going to be doing or what they're planning for game-wise or console-wise, hardware-wise, stuff like that, program-wise. And then we can watch all that stuff, and then they can get, then the big publishers and big three can get their messages out to us, and then they can also get like smaller companies sometimes to get show stuff, and they can get their stuff showed to many, many more people around the world, because more people watch the internet than they do regular TV broadcasts. Because, you know, E3 used to be on like G4 Tech TV. Was it on Spike TV once or something? I think it was mostly Tech TV, G4 and stuff in the early days, back when TV was a thing still. And I used to watch that on satellite, and it used to be E3 back in the early days when the internet was still like basic broadband and dial-up and stuff like that. And I had dial-up still back in that day, and that was a horrible day. And then I got broadband, and now I got fiber. And it's just so much more amazing stuff. But beyond that, E3 was a thing. E3 had a purpose. Now it has less purpose. Like all these other big trade shows out there are having less of a purpose, because E3 isn't meant for the public technically. It's meant for the industry to come together to sell their wares and shares and stuff. But now that they can do it all digitally, and they can just come together everywhere else, and it's going to make it harder for the indie devs and publishers to get out there more though. But hey, I'm sure they can figure out something. But this is what it was originally for. Before the internet, before the YouTube, before the Twitches and other streaming platforms, E3 was done by the ESA, by all these big companies, where they all came together, and then they brought us all the news from that. So that's what that was. Now that everything's split up and down the road and everything's digital, you know, now it's going away of the dodo. And that's sad. For most of the time, I feel sad about it. But also I'm like, well, Jeff Keighley and people and these big industry leaders, are still kind of doing the same things, the same E3 things now, but they're all digital, but you still can watch them on the internet, which I do, and I still get the same sort of kind of coverage that I would have got from the E3 event, but even maybe better. I don't know, because they're giving me the direct message. And I never went to E3. I always wanted to go. I was going to eventually maybe go once to see what E3 was like. I wish I was around. Well, I wish I was old enough and around at the time when E3 was just becoming a thing, when it just started off back at the Consumer Electronics Show and stuff. I would have loved to see it back in the day. Back in the day when it was rude and crude and very adult and very boof babes were a thing and everything else and anything went. That was the golden days. And I know a lot of people nowadays are like, yeah, who needs that? I was in that world. I would have loved to be that. Maybe I would have been an actual video game journalist back in the day. But I'm a video game journalist, hobbyist, video producer, podcaster now, so who cares? And it's all because of the internet. If this wasn't a thing, if this whole internet and broadband and fiber thing wasn't a thing, I probably wouldn't be doing this right now. Now would I? Now that we got the technology and the internet and all that to do this stuff, I can do this. So, you got your goods, got your bads. It's sad that E3 is officially dead. A lot of, it's usually held from June around my birthday. That was another thing when I was a kid and I took off always on my birthday because my birthday was usually the last day of school, which really sucked. And I'm like, I never went on my last day of school because it was always around my birthday. And I'm like, my birthday's on the 14th, and I'm like, I'm not going to school on my birthday. And then I made it like a thing where I would always go watch E3 on my birthday, which I always did. I took off of work, whatever. I always watched E3 around that time. It was my birthday. It was E3. I'm watching the video games presentations. And that was always a great happy birthday gift to me. Now, I still do that. Now it's not E3 anymore. It's a whole different thing. It's a whole different kind of thing going on. And sure, I still do it, but it's at probably a lesser scale now than it was. But yeah, I'll miss some of the E3 stuff. There's a lot of good stuff, a lot of good hosts and people. Used to watch the older people give presentations and host E3 and stuff and talk about it. It was always good stuff. There was a lot of good stuff that happened around E3, and I loved it. And it's a little less now, but what else is new? Like I said, I wonder what's going to happen to that Los Angeles Convention Center because all these things are not coming back to it. So nothing's a thing anymore. And so, yeah, 1995, that's when E3 began. I don't know. Some people say maybe E3 might come back someday. You never know. They still got the whole, thing in their back pockets. You never know. And maybe when things and people grow up in industries and governments, because, the ESA, they gotta get better in the know. The ESA, I think they were asking for too much. They were trying to get as much money as they wanted to. They kept on saying, oh, we need more money. We need more money. It's like, don't these publishers pay you guys dues anyways when they get their games rated and all that stuff? Don't they pay you enough money? And I guess it was never enough. It seems like that the ESA was doing a racketeering thing here. And I always had my doubts about the ESA. I know they're the ones that were created by the industry as a whole to regulate the industry, to put on these rating systems and stuff so they can make the government happy, because the ESA is not a government body technically, but it's something that the video game industry created to keep the United States government off their backs and stuff, and other governments. And it seems like that the ESA became like a anti something. They're not like they used to be, and it seems like they got corrupt and they don't understand the industry anymore. And it's like, well, why have them, and why have this convention where they're trying to take more of the publisher's money? Not that the publishers aren't raking in all this extra money and they're still firing people and letting people go, but why does the ESA get more of that money? Why do they got to charge a high and stuff? And there was a lot of, like I said, E3 had a lot of highs, had a lot of lows. It was incredible, even though I was watching from the outside in, and everybody else was in and stuff, a lot of the journalists and stuff, but it was great. There was a lot of great moments. I have a lot of those great moments saved, a lot of console showed offs and stuff, and yeah, it's gonna be one of those things. We had Keanu Reeves up on stage on E3. Not that they can't do that still on an Xbox stage or something like that nowadays. They still can do this stuff, but they're just not gonna do it at an E3. It's not gonna be called E3 because they're not gonna pay the ESA any money, extra money for all that booths and stuff. That's millions and millions of dollars that they would put into that stuff, and it's just going down the drain. And then the ESA at the very end of E3, they wanted to bring the public in. They tried to do it like a couple times, and that was the worst because the rest of the industry's like, wait. We don't want to show them our unpublished games because then they get the wrong reactions to their games because they're not made to be looked at by the public in that way, those demos and stuff. And I understand, because a lot of the public, no offense, you guys out there, when you see something, you believe that's as best as it is, and then you get all upset if something isn't 100% in your liking, and then it's like, well, they're not done with the game yet. This is just a demo, and a lot of people don't understand that. See, I'm different in that way. If I went to E3 and I was behind closed doors and I was looking at the roughest thing, I'd be like, okay, I see what you're doing. I see what you're planning on doing. I hope you get there. It's in a rough shape now, but I can understand that this could look really good. And I hope you guys get there for it. I'm not going to go, oh my God, look, this is what the game's looking like? Oh my God, this looks shitty. Why is this character moving this way? What is that? Oh my God. And a lot of people, make up shit and they don't understand the industry. I might not be part of the industry in general. I'm on the outside still, I consider myself, but I understand the industry because I studied the industry throughout the many, many, many years that I've been doing podcasting, videos, and all that stuff myself. And like I said, E3, c'est la vie, at least for now, because everybody says, you never know, it could come back. Shit can happen. Like I said, if YouTube and Twitch went away or something, you never know. Because then the big publishers would be like, well, we don't got these big platforms to publish our videos and streams on anymore. Maybe bring back E3 and we can have other sites cover it and stuff and whatnot. You can have your game spots and giant bombs and IGNs of the world to cover that stuff. But still, all in all, we'll see. It's the evolution. It's technology, internet, and the evolution. And companies wanting to save money because, they want to save money because they spent a lot of money and they kind of fucked up lately. And then they're trying to save more money because who knows what's going on in the world today. It's all because everything comes back around to government in the world. It's all because of our governments and petty differences and everything else, and the way that the world's going and everything's getting more expensive and everything else. Companies got to change their policies and the way they work. And one of those ways that doesn't seem like a value anymore is E3. So rest in peace, E3. C'est la vie. We just got to move on. Yep. And you can watch all those old E3s, press conferences and stuff on YouTube and stuff like that and whatnot. And they're great. Trust me, they're great. And other gaming news, Xbox appears to be fixing a major issue with cloud saves. Now, I never mentioned anything about cloud saves, But I think I had I had these issues as well. And I thought it was just something that was like, to me, because I never heard anybody else talk about this until now. And I'm thinking, yes, there might be a little bit of issues with cloud save syncing and uploading and downloading your saves to games, and especially for somebody like me that plays on multiple devices. I play on my PC, my Xbox Series X, on my ROG Ally. That's 3 devices right there for my only profile. And if I want to switch to playing like a game from my PC or Xbox, and I want to go to ROG Ally, or then I want to go back to a PC or something, that cloud save has to get there, you know? And sometimes I don't see the right saves, or sometimes my saves get missing or something, or it's an older save. I had that a bunch of times with, I think it was it Starfield? It was Starfield and another game. There was another game I'm like, it was the Walking Dead games, the Telltale Walking Dead. That's what happened. And that was the biggest time I had the cloud saves really fuck up on me. It was playing the Walking Dead Telltale games, yes, recently. And even though I got to a point and I saw the save, and it was saving, and it saved the game, and I even went past a little bit of that, and I turned it off, and I went back to it, or I went back to it on something else, but mostly it was just back to ROG Ally. That save, I wouldn't be at that save point. I'd be like back all the way farther, or sometimes all the way back at the beginning of the game, like it was with the Michonne game. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, I had this save. I saved this game. Where did my game save go? It went missing. And they're talking about it. So earlier this week, apparently people were hearing Baldur's Gate 3 players were suffering with an issue that causes lost progress on Xbox Series X and S game saves and stuff. And it seems to be connected to a bigger problem that's been plaguing cloud saves. And it's not just the Series X and S, it's also PC and stuff like that as well. I can admit to that. And apparently this is a big problem. So people at Starfield, they're talking about a few games here. I'm talking about there's even more games. So there's players are seeing their games for reporting that a similar problem in which their progress is either reverted or deleted entirely on Xbox. Yes. Like somebody was talking about, they lost everything. 70 hours save gone, starting from scratch. And then you got other people talking about their saves aren't working and they're thinking it's the game. I had the same issues recently. Luckily, it wasn't as bad as 70 hours lost. It was like 20 minutes lost or something, but still, 20 minutes is still 20 minutes. That's a lot of progress, like in a Telltale game that I'm lost, and I got to watch everything again, make all my choices again, do everything else again. That's been a big problem lately, and I don't know why it's been happening. But apparently there's going to be a fix coming, and they're in early stages. Apparently it sounds like the Xbox team is properly addressing the issue, which I guess the Baldur's Gate 3 saga seems to have prompted it. And multiple fixes are currently being tested in certain rings of the Xbox Insider program. So apparently they address fixes to address an issue that could cause unexpected loss of saved progress in various titles. So if any luck, just not Baldur's Gate players, but other people with other progress in games, maybe they're going to fix this cloud save issue. I don't know. But this is something that I heard. Some people are saying they should make it a feature again where you can make a local copy to a USB or PC external hard drive of your save. I thought you could still do that. Maybe not. Maybe you can't still do that. To make a local save. Yeah, I remember doing that too, where I used to, on my Xbox and stuff, make a local save of my game to the drive itself or to an external USB thumb drive. I would like to be able to do that on my PCs and stuff too. Let's see here. Yeah, they just got to fix it. Maybe it's a server issue or something. I don't know. But yes, there has been an issue with games. Mostly, like I said, I've been mostly seeing it in like older titles, like the Walking Dead series and stuff. I haven't seen it in anything lately. Like I've been playing Persona 5 Tactica. It seems like it's been saving quite nicely. I'll check back in on that stuff, and we'll see in the new year if they fix it for the new year or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out about that and see. But that's something that's got to be addressed, especially if Microsoft doesn't let you save locally anymore, which is weird because I thought they used to. I don't know. I got to look for that. I thought I seen there's a local save, but maybe not. Maybe not. I think you can find your local saves for your PC games if you go to the manager thing and you go into the save spot. I think that you could get your game saves out of there, but then you got to go through something. You got to take it out and copy it and put it on a thumb drive. It just doesn't automatically like, boop, there, you can save it to that. Boop. So, interesting. And final story, this is an interesting final story. Xbox Game Pass for free? So is Microsoft experimenting with ad views for access to hundreds of Xbox games? So apparently there's something being talked about. Nobody's actually confirmed it too much, but apparently Microsoft might be testing out something on the fact, or looking into maybe doing some, because they do some ads things too behind the scenes, and they're thinking maybe if you don't want to pay for Game Pass, or we can make it free for people if they want to just look at a bunch of ads or something. Let's see here. So, let's see here. They're doing tons of things, but looking at ads, being able to get like Game Pass access and stuff, and watching ads and getting a certain amount of Game Pass access, that might be something interesting for people that really just don't want to pay for a subscription to anything. If it makes it worth their while for people, instead of people paying for stuff. Let's see here. I'm reading this still. They're talking about how it could be like you watch 30 seconds of an ad. I'm sure it'd be like 2 minutes of ads, and then it'd be like, play 2 hours of this game or something, or get 2 hours of streaming for like 2 minutes of game ads or something, because they got to do something more than just 30 seconds or a minute or something. They got to do like 2 to 3 minutes if you're going to be playing a lot of a game, or if you're going to be playing like 2 or more hours of a game. You're going to need to watch more ads to make up for that price for that game that you're playing. It doesn't matter who you are. I know a lot of people just don't care, and then they'll like, no, I don't want to look at ads. I want to play the game for free. I don't want to pay for anything. That's not the world you live in, dude, and that world is going away faster than you can say free me with free stuff, because it doesn't matter how many times you can, steal content or whatever, or try to get free stuff. Nowadays, it's getting a lot tougher because these companies are clamping down on anything that's free. Look at Google and YouTube with the ads and stuff. They're trying to make sure everybody sees ads before the content, or you can't watch any content. They're blocking you, and they're blocking ad blockers, which is blocking their blocker. And, like me, I don't watch ads on YouTube unless if it's on my phone, because I don't have an ad blocker on my phone, but on my PC, I do, because those ads are annoying, because YouTube and Google don't make the ads decent enough for me to watch them. They put them all over the place sometimes. Sometimes they spread them about throughout the video I'm watching, and that's annoying. You can make them all in the front, let me watch them all, and I could go play the video or put them in the end or something. Don't just sprinkle them all about. Now I can watch these stupid ads and stuff. No. This ain't TV. That just makes you not want to watch anything or use YouTube. And that's for everything, even my rewards points that I get from Microsoft Rewards. Eventually, you never know, that might go away sometime, because that's that's the way things are going, you know. So never think everything's going to be free, because everything that used to be free all the time is going to be gone. It's going to be going away, and we're living in a different world right now. Definitely a different world. But that thing for Game Pass, watch some ads, play some games, could be something interesting. Everybody else is doing it. You know, we got Disney Plus. I think Amazon's going to do it. I just canceled, by the way, my Amazon Prime subscription because they're starting to charge $150 to me when it used to be $139, but now they're adding the sales tax to that on top of it, and now it's $150 for some reason, 151 something I was getting, and I'm like, no, I'm not paying $151 a year for this. I haven't used it that much, at least this year, and if I need to use, if I really, there's going to be like a month or something, I'm going to use Prime for something, like if I want to watch videos or I'm going to order a lot of stuff or something, and I would like to have a Prime subscription for that, I'll buy it on the monthly basis. I'll buy it for like $7 for a month or whatever it is. You know, I'll buy it once for a month or 2 months or something, and then I'll buy a ton of stuff that month or whatever. You know, gotta calm down on that. Like I told people when I used to do other podcasts and stuff, I told people, I'm like, my limit to subscriptions, and Prime was my second subscription out of my Game Pass. Like, Game Pass Ultimate is the only subscription I have left, next to my cell phone, but that's a phone plan subscription. That's something different. But otherwise, the only subscription service that I still have is Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which gives me still tons of value, and it's still totally worth the money I paid for it. Prime used to be worth it all the way up to the $139. They never used to charge me extra money for sales tax and all this other stuff that they started just doing this year. This is the first year I noticed they bumped up and said, oh, you got to pay the sales tax and stuff. I'm like, what? That ain't $139. Oh, now you got to pay the sales tax because, you know, our local governments and government want some more of that money. So now Amazon's got to pay them, and they're like, no, we want that $139 from you, sir. So they get that extra sales tax money on top of it, and that just makes the deal worse. When I used to pay like, what was it, $40-$50 a month for Prime, 60, you know, when it went up to, you know, and I'm like, and I said to everybody on my last podcast, I'm like, hey, $139 is the most I'm ever going to pay for Amazon Prime. If they raise that price up in any way, shape, or form, I'm canceling it. And guess what? I got the bill. It said $151, and I'm like, oh, blunk. I unplugged it, canceled it, got my $151 back, and I said, whatever. And I'm still buying stuff on Amazon. I just got to add like a $35 worth of stuff, which not hard for me. I'm usually past the $35 mark anyway, so, but you got to tighten that belt sometimes, and you got to cut costs where it needs to be, and I think Amazon Prime isn't worth that $151 with tax that I'm paying for it. Might be $139, but you know, I'm not gonna try to go and do all those jump for hoops and stuff to try to get it cheaper. No. I want it for a low price or a lower price because, you know, I might have used it a lot, but I bought a lot from them, so you know that should help make my price cheaper for me because I purchase a lot of items from Amazon. But now you're making it like, well, I guess I'm not gonna purchase as much items from you because you're gonna charge me extra money on my Prime subscription, which I barely use Prime Video. I only use it once in a while when they have some decent stuff. But until The Boys 4 comes out and stuff, Boys Season 4, I'm not going to need to watch anything right away. So, I'll wait. I'll pay per month. I don't mind. So, things to talk about before we end this podcast. I got a bunch of stuff here that I got on the thing that I wanted to quickly, you know, go through, talk about. You know, these don't have to be long conversations. These could be just easy little questions and answers, things to think about. So things to think about in 2024, basically, or this year, or beyond. So what games do I expect to play in 2024? Well, I could tell you 2 games right now. Well, 1 game. I can't say 2 games because the other game ain't coming out till 2025. But at least 1 game, Like a Dragon Infinite, Wealth. That's one damn game I'm going to be playing in 2024. Maybe the second game for 2024. Maybe it would be that Avatar game. What's it called? I've been hearing it for 10 million years, but something of Pandora. You know what I'm talking about. I'll probably play that. I'm just waiting for that Ubisoft title to go down to $40 or less. When it goes to 40 or less, then that'll be the sweet spots that I buy. Frontiers of Pandora. There we go. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. That's when I'll buy that Avatar game. But mainly it's going to be a lot of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. That's going to be a big Infinite Wealth year. I'll play some of my back catalog of stuff. I forget what else might be coming out. Like a lot of stuff they still don't have release dates for. Maybe I'll hear more about it down the road on some stuff. But yeah, pretty much it'll be those 2 games that I think that I'll be playing. And then, like I said, my back catalog of games. I can't think of anything else I want to play unless that Xenosaga game comes out, that Hellblade game. I'm sure I'm forgetting a bunch of games and stuff that are coming out in 2024 and beyond. But like stuff, like the one game that I want to play, but I got to wait till 2025 is GTA 6. So, as I feel I have evolved as a gamer over time from the start to now, online to single player gamer, that's me, playing different types of games that I used to never play, like or not. So basically, this is me stating, I wrote this down because this is me stating to myself, talking about myself, that I used to be different as a gamer from when I started to now. Before, I used to be stuck in a certain little bit of genres of games. I used to just play this little pack of games, and now I expanded my horizons. And a lot of those horizons I fell in love with more and more over time of playing games. Like, you never would be able to get me to play a turn-based strategy or JRPG or anything back in the day. And now that's all I play. That's mostly what I play is RPGs, turn-based games. Story-based games, you mean like non-open world? You mean like coffee talks and stuff like that? I've been playing a lot more of those games lately, learning the tactics-based gaming and all that other stuff, and a lot of stuff that I learned and bettered myself as a gamer to open up those horizons and not just play fighting games or open world GTA games and stuff. I used to play a lot of sports games. Or mostly I played a lot of the old baseball and not football, but basketball games. And now I'm just like, maybe in the next Tony Hawk game when Microsoft and Activision Blizzard announce the next Tony Hawk game in the future, which I'm sure they will, because now that they own Activision Blizzard, they're probably getting on that phone eventually going, hey, Tony Hawk, we want to open up that friendship again and get that future of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater to come back with a new game. Are you in? And I'm sure he's going to be like, oh, damn right. For the right money, I'm in. I'm sure he'll be in. That's something that might happen in the future. And then you got all these like Resident Evil type games and spooky games and stuff, and they're just like, my gaming time is precious, and if I'm not getting totally into the game or there's a part of the game I'm just not liking, I will drop off the game. Look at stuff like when I'd go to play Skyrim and stuff. If I drop off and I never go back in, then I'm never going to go back in, at least not with that part. Or there's a lot of games on that list that I was talking about that I just said, hey, fuck it. It's never going to finish, not going to go back to, whatever. You know, there's a bunch of games. Like I said, we'll talk about Slayer's X Terminal of Aftermath. I'm never gonna go to that game again. Trying to look at some other games here. Maybe GoldenEye I might not go back into. The Callisto Protocol I might go back into, but we'll see. It'll be a while from now. But there's a lot of stuff that, you know, who knows if I get back to playing some stuff. And, you know, I used to be really good at those online drop and shooter type games. You know, when Gears of War Online used to be Gears of War Online back in the day when it was a little bit slower and stuff, I used to love playing those, like I used to say. Now that they're super pop and drop and shotgun super fast type of games, or the Call of Duties are super precise and far and got all these stupid snipers and stuff, and some people get too good and then they're still playing with people like me, and it's like I'm not getting into that. It's too much work. It's not fun enough. I don't like that anymore. Get me a new Team Fortress game. Make it a little slower. Get me the new Gears of War and get me in the new Gears Online and slow that down a little bit. Make it more for wave-based gaming. Put that wave. What is it called in the Gears of War? That one waves where you got to fight with other people against the horde mode. Was it horde mode? Maybe it was called horde mode, where you would fight waves of enemies to try to win. That was always fun. Or if you're battling each other, I want to do the thing where you're protecting something, and then you could you could be the locust and you could go eat through their defenses. I like that stuff. That stuff still makes me happy, but they don't do too much of that stuff, so And then you got your PUBGs and stuff, and like I said, Call of Duties of the world, and that's just Fortnite. I tried Fortnite, hated it. Never going to get me into Fortnite, so And I still love stuff like Minecraft and stuff. I love my building games and stuff. It's just when I ever get into doing that. Like, Minecraft isn't one of those games that I got to get back into again once in a while. Play. I got my world. I just got to get into playing it. And I'm sure I got to update my server and my computer 20 million times before I could do that. Will the wait for GTA 6 in 2025 be worth the long wait? It depends. It depends if Rockstar and Take-Two don't shoot themselves in the foot. You know, I've been hearing a lot of rumors, and this is a bad rumor that I've been hearing a lot lately, that Rockstar / Take-Two wants to charge more for GTA 6 maybe. I've been hearing this price tag of $100 floating around, and I'm like thinking, if you charge a fucking $100 for GTA 6, no matter how much I love GTA, I'm not paying you fuckers $100 for a game. It's not my fault you guys made this game and it cost you guys way too much money to make. You can make that money up with shark cards and stuff with the online portion of it or something down the road. But if they're going to charge $100 and not just regular $70 for the game, which I think is enough for me, I will wait. I will wait till that motherfucker goes down in price, and then I'll buy it. And the whole thing that they teased it, and it's not coming out to 2025 is another bullshit thing. Rockstar should have announced this in 2024. They should have announced it at the end of 2024. If it's coming out in 2025, announce it at the end of 2024 or something. Announce it around this time in 2024. And then people don't have to wait for your stupid shit for a while. And, you're going to put out your trailers and stuff. You're going to always have that hype. But why would you do a trailer now and say, yeah, we are working on the next GTA 6. Here's a little bit of thing. Here's a teaser trailer, and not show you really much of anything except for the stuff that I don't care about, like the stupid social media bullshit. I want to see some really good shit. Some gameplay. I know we're going to have our protagonist is going to be Lucia, which I'm excited for. I like a female main protagonist. I know there's a lot of haters out there, a lot of unreal masculine guys out there that their little dinglings are shrinking right now because they don't like it when a woman's in charge and can be the main character or protagonist of a game. Well, fuck you. I do like that. Come on, we had that forever. Remember a little woman called Lara Croft in Tomb Raider? She's badass. She kicks ass. She's the main protagonist of that game. Why not GTA? That's probably why they got the guy there to to settle, to help the people that are demasculated, to get them into playing the game, because they're like, oh, I can't play the girl. I'm too manly. Suck my thumb. Yeah, you guys need to grow up. Got to get a life. But otherwise, if it's as big as I'm hearing it's going to be not just Vice City, but a whole state on top of that. And if there's going to be a lot of good missions and a lot of things to do, and it's not just going to be me just driving from one part of the state all the way to the other part of the state, which I'm sure they're going to have some missions where you got to drive from one side of the state to the other state. Hopefully I'll be able to fly a plane or something instead of just driving for that. I don't know. But it looks good. If that's the in-game footage, which I hear it is, it looks very good, and I'm excited for that. But I'm worried about if they want to try to increase the price point for the game, and if they, I don't know if they didn't say anything about online, but they didn't do that for the last one either until later. And is this going to be an all-out first player game, or are they going to have online built in with it to play online on top of playing single player, or are they going to try to do that social media bullshit too much? That's what worries me. It's too much social media bullshit, too much putting in the online. The online portion should be separate from the single player campaign and mode in GTA 6, just like they did with GTA 5, and then I'll be happy. Then I'll be happy with that. This is the rumor going on. Here's the rumor. A rumor thing going around, the Blade game, the new Blade game that is being made by Arcane Studios, which is a Microsoft-owned studio over at Bethesda and stuff, is rumored to be, people were noticing that, there was no Xbox logo on it or something and whatnot. I guess in a recent trailer they put the Xbox logo on it, but there was no logo on it. So people are wondering, we're coming up with all sorts of weird statements and solutions to what that could have meant. So a lot of people were like, well, does that mean it's not going to be on this Xbox console, or it's going to be on the next Xbox console? And I'm thinking, well, if it's going to be on the next-gen Xbox console, wouldn't they still have the same Xbox symbol anyways? It's still Xbox. You'd still have the Xbox ring thing still, right? The giant X, because it's Xbox. And then people were thinking, oh, maybe this game isn't just for Xbox. Maybe they're going to put on PlayStation and other things. I'm like, well, we do know they're going to put on PC, because they do have their own PC Xbox thing for Game Pass for PC and stuff, and Game Pass Ultimate. It's going to be on their console. And if they wanted to sell it and they wanted to make more money off of it, or if they were thinking, well, let's make more money off of this, or if maybe their partnership with Marvel says, hey, if you guys could put on multiple platforms, that'd be nice. We can lower the costs or whatever and make it better. And then Microsoft's like, well, we're all about money, so maybe we'll put it on multi-platform this time, and maybe they're going to publish it for PlayStation or something. Who cares? I don't care. I know all the PlayStation crybabies over there are like, oh, why did they get a Blade game? Oh, why isn't it not on a PlayStation? Why is it on an Xbox? I've been hearing that going for a while, and I'm like, well, you don't hear us crying that the Wolverine game and stuff and the Spider-Man games are only on PlayStation, even though I would like to be able to play Wolverine and Spider-Man games on Xbox, but that's never going to probably happen because Sony locks that shit down. So don't cry that you don't get a Blade game. What? They cry about every little thing that doesn't come on the PlayStation platform. You know how many games that don't come on the Xbox platform that is Sony locks down? Let's just say Square Enix games mostly. We could just say that in general. So I don't want to hear the whining. PlayStation fans whine more than Xbox fans do. It's just a whine fest over there. It's like, hey, Microsoft or Arcane Studios and Bethesda had an idea. They had the money. They wanted to make a Blade game. Let them make a Blade game. So who cares? And what else? They're making an Indiana Jones game too over there, right? Someone is in Microsoft. I hope that's good too. I haven't heard much about that, but shit, if it goes on the PlayStation and Xbox, who cares? I don't care if it's multi-platform or not. If it's just Xbox or if it's next-gen Xbox, I don't care. It's going to be on PC too, and I'm probably going to play it on my PC. No more whining. Plus, I don't whine that I can't play any PlayStation games either, because if they still gonna do the whole thing where they put most of their games on PC, eventually I'll get them on Steam, like I did with a handful of the games. I got Spider-Man Miles Morales. I'll probably get the new Spider-Man game. I want to get that Ratchet and Clank game, but I'm just waiting for it to go down in price a little bit, and then I'll buy it and play them. No big deal. No, I'm not gonna whine about them. No, I don't care. Get it on Xbox. Will there be, and this has also been a new rumor too, as well, and this has been rumored as well, but some people are saying that in 2026, a rumor stated that there might be a new Xbox console. So that's like 7 years, I heard, around like 6 to 7 years since the Xbox Series X and S came out. So yeah, it's not 10 years, but usually people get a little, we need a new console by 10 years. Oh, and I'm thinking, did they even scratch the itch on these consoles yet? I don't know. And then you got Sony making that PlayStation Pro console, I guess, that they're going to be showing off. That's going to be more powerful. So I don't know. I think we're just in a fine state. There's only going to be so much headroom or so much, up they can go before they hit the ceiling on how powerful these machines can be. But apparently there's rumors stated that there might be a next gen series console, like the PS Pro, or we did see that little console, maybe an all digital Xbox console. But now that they're saying, will there be a new next-gen console in the future around 2026? Well, if that's so, great. Will I be buying one out of the gate? Probably not. And I'm saying this only because there will still be games coming out for the Series X and S, which for me is only the X, for a long time. And if it's a first publisher studio, if it's a Microsoft studio, it will always be, those games will always be on PC Game Pass. Okay? So I will always have an advantage to be able to play those games up to that point where they say, okay, we're not making any of these games for Series X or anything, or X and S anymore. You got to have the new console to play these games and beyond. So that would mean third-party games. And if those third-party games aren't on the Xbox PC anymore and they're worthy enough for me to get the next-gen console, that's when I'll get one of those next-gen consoles. So basically, the first bunch of years that the next gen in 2026, it's still super far away, even though 2024 is around the corner, and then you got 2 more years, I will wait another 2 or 3 years after that, because that's when they stop making games for older consoles. I will wait personally to purchase an Xbox a little bit later. I won't get it right off the gate because I got a PC. And I got my Xbox Series X, which will still play those games just fine, those next-gen games, because I don't know where they're going to go. I think they got enough horsepower right now. Maybe they're going to put a little bit more horsepower in there, and they're going to put more memory in there. That's what it needs, more memory, more of the graphics power, and then that's perfect. Or they said, people were saying CPU power. Maybe they need more CPU power to run stuff. Yes, do what you got to do to get these games running better. Make them 4K, blah, blah, blah this time. Sure, it'll be more expensive. But for me, I will wait on that. I will wait on that future. I'll wait till those consoles are out for a couple years or a few years, 2 to 3 years. And then that might be the sweet spot to eventually get a console, if I get a console, because maybe all of the games I'll be able to play will be all on my PC, and I'll still be able to get them on my Series X console. Then I won't need to get a new console. That'd be great. If I could play on my PC and stuff. And on top of it, like I said, at the start, they're going to be super expensive when they come out. Not that I can't afford to buy one. I'm just thinking, well, in the future, I'm going to save some more money. If I don't need one right away, I'll just wait till it goes on sale after a couple of years. After 2 to 3 years, I bet those console prices will drop, or they'll have brand new, better consoles with better technology in them or something, and then I'll get it then. Same with the Switch. That's the same thought process that I have for the Nintendo Switch 2 whenever that gets announced next year, and they say if it has an OLED screen, if first off, if this next Switch 2.0 has backwards compatibility, that's the main thing that I want to know. If it has backwards compatibility with Switch 1 titles and stuff, I'm in to getting a Switch 2. If it also comes with an OLED screen from the start, even though they were saying, nah, these are going to be LCD screens at the start, and then we'll go to OLED screens or something, or if they're going to have two SKUs where one's going to be LCD and one's going to be OLED, I will get the OLED version of it, and I will buy a Switch 2. Just because it's going to play my backwards compatible games. I will continue to be able to buy Switch games for the Switch 2, what games those are going to be, which I got an idea on what those games are going to be at launch. If Nintendo's smart enough to do it, and if they can do it right at launch, I have an idea on what those games might be. Mario Kart, proper Mario game as well. So a new Mario Kart, new proper Mario game. I'm thinking those are the main two games that we will get on the new Switch 2.0. And like I said, price wouldn't matter. It'll be more beefier, be more powerful, in the beefy process. Like I said, if it has an OLED screen and it has backwards compatibility, that's what will get me into buying the Switch 2. Until then, if it's just the LCD Switch and Switch for the Switch 2 at the start and they want to wait to put on an OLED version, I will wait. I have no problem waiting on games, getting games for Switch 2 down the road, especially in the digital era now. So, and that's the same thing for the Xbox. I will wait till it's needed because I don't play my Xbox Series X that much anyways. I mostly use it for watching movies and media. I play some games on it when I can't play them on PC. It's stuff like that. I'll pull out the Xbox, and I still get physical media when I can. But more and more, like I said, with Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, I'm getting that digitally. That's going to be an all digital game that I'm playing on PC and stuff, and my ROG Ally. So there you go. I already talked about the Switch. With the next generation Switch gets announced, will I buy one? What will I expect? Yeah, I already talked about that. Here's my next one for 2024. So PC manufacturers out there like Asus and everybody else, they have their own timelines for stuff. They're not like the gaming industry and everything else. They'll put out new PCs and stuff gradually. Now, in this new space with portable gaming units like the Asus ROG Ally, the Lenovo Legion, all those other Chinese-based ones, the Steam Deck, which Valve says they're not going to, after the LCD or the OLED Steam Deck, they're not making new Steam Deck until they know that technology is available for the next one, which I understand. They're very cautious on that, and they got their own Steam platform, so they can do that. But will Asus announce and release a new, more powerful ROG Ally in 2024? Well, like I said, they're a PC manufacturer, and if the ROG Ally, this current ROG Ally, the first one, sold good, I don't know. I don't know what the numbers are on it. I hope it sold well enough because it's an amazing machine. Don't buy the lesser version. Buy the Z1 Extreme chip-based one, people. Don't buy that just that regular Asus ROG Ally. I know it's cheaper, but you got to buy the Extreme Edition. You got to buy the one with the better processor in it, or else you're going to hate it yourself for it. Trust me, $100 is nothing when you want the comparison on the, and I could do that. I did that already in videos and stuff and other podcasts. But get the more extreme one. If they do, I hope they announce it with some power. And they could. I think they might announce a new one in 2024. If they sold well enough, I think Asus might do their second crack at it and make it a more powerful, more beefier system with more power in there maybe. I don't really care about the battery life. I could just hook it up, plug it in, at least for me. I know other people that's not always the best thing, but, you know, better battery life, better this, better that, more power. I want more RAM in there and stuff. Better SoC, definitely a better SoC, but still more RAM. I want 32 to 64 gigs of RAM or more that I can purchase. I don't care if I spend more money. I want to build. I want 64. I want definitely like a terabyte or two of onboard storage and the ability to upgrade that with a secondary secondary M.2 slot or something, which they can have the main memory on board of that, and then the secondary memory where I can pop in a M.2 drive in there, pop in another 2 to 4 terabytes into that, so I can have more storage than I ever need. Well, right now I got 2 terabytes in my system now, and I still got plenty of room on there, but still, it's beautiful that I have that. Because you never know, I'll keep adding games to my ROG Ally, and then, but, most likely I want more memory in these devices, more VRAM, a little bit more graphics capabilities. You don't have to go too far, just enough, but more VRAM, definitely more memory, more VRAM, a little bit higher, powerful processing. They'll be just fine. It'll be just fine. Maybe put those hollow effect sticks in next time. Not that I have any problem with my ROG Ally sticks. They're just fine to me, but I'm betting in 2024 we might, or no, 2024, because we're almost in 2024. I'm sure we'll hear something from Asus on a new ROG Ally, or 2025. Who knows? You never know. Maybe they're going to wait like everybody else, and they're going to wait till everybody else does some updates on a second handheld PC gaming device. I don't know. Let's see here. But they do need to make them more powerful. They need to have definitely more memory in them, more memory options. Because like I said, 16 gigs is fine. But if they would have had 32 gigs of RAM in there, I think using that because it uses that as video RAM and stuff, it would have been a lot better. It'd make games run a lot better and smoother, and, with more added processes going on in the background. I would have liked that. That's my take on it. And, the SoC it's going to get more powerful when AMD makes a better chip around the next time. And then the battery life, like I said, if they can put in more battery, go for it. I don't want them to make the device too heavy. And second, battery technology is still not getting any better. Battery technology is still shitty. As long as you do that, put in some more USB-C ports. Put like 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, have 4 all together, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. That'd be fine too, because I could plug it into multiple devices. But definitely have something so we can have more storage too. I could pop in another M.2 slot on there. You can have your main terabyte or 2 terabyte of storage on the device itself, solder it in or whatever, but allow me to pop in another M.2 drive on top of that and pop in another 2 terabytes or 4 terabytes if they have a 4 terabyte version of those things down the road, even though they'll be expensive. I would love that. I would love that a lot. But it'll happen. I hope it happens. I hope I see Asus and them do a good job. And will I buy one? If it's got the specs I want to see out of them. Like I said, I love my ROG Ally right now. I still loving it. Since I got it in June on my birthday. It was like the day before my birthday I got that ROG Ally. It was a little at the start, but when I figured it all out and I figured out how to get it just right, I've been loving to play that. I'm going to play it right after this podcast. I've been loving my ROG Ally. And I'm still saying it. As long as I could keep playing those PC games going forward, I'm still loving it. So if they do create a new ROG Ally and it's got the specs that I want, and it's got the same feel and look to it, and maybe better, if they want to do the better Hall effect sticks, I don't care if it's more expensive. And I'm saying this to everybody out there and to Asus in general, if they hear me out or if anybody else is listening to this or watching this and they tell the people at Asus, I don't mind if it's more expensive. just give me a bit more power in there. I'll buy the best power edition version ever. I'll spend the money. I spend a lot of money on my Asus ROG Ally now when I upgraded the storage in there, and I did a bunch of other stuff. I spend a lot of money on it. I spent way over $1,000 on my ROG Ally because of all that extra stuff I put on there. So, yeah, I'd be down for doing that. Will the games industry consolidate any further, and could it help or hurt the industry as a whole with new titles and ideas? Well, I think going right now we're in a slow state because money's tight, everything else is tight. Industry is tight because governments, like our own government here, the FCC, and everybody's always still on Microsoft. FCC's still on Microsoft for the Activision Blizzard thing, which they're never going to go anywhere. They're just wasting more of our taxpayer money. They should stop while they're behind and go after like real people like telecoms and stuff that are still fucking with us, and electric companies and everybody else that are monopolies and stuff that are fucking with us. Maybe they should go after them more instead of worrying about Microsoft and the games company that they're actually helping, because they're freeing the people from Bobby Kotick and all the bad management and all the other stuff that was happening there. They can open up the creativity and freedom, and those people working there will have better working conditions, and they're still going to provide games to everybody. And there's still people making game companies every day that are popping up, small as they are, that happens. And I'm sure Sony might buy some people. I don't think Nintendo's going to buy anybody, but shit, it will consolidate further. Microsoft still says they're interested in maybe buying more companies down the road if they're able to. It's going to be a lot harder, but they're going to be in a holding pattern right now. But, as governments change, as all this old crappy oligarchy gets kicked out of office here in the United States and we get a better president and better people in power in the FCC and everywhere else, maybe things will change again for the better. And then Microsoft could go ahead and buy somebody else, like a Sega or something. If they bought Sega, I'd be so happy. I know that's a thing that could probably, I wouldn't say never happen, but that'd be so great. People would be so angry. I know the UK would probably shut that shit down, but unless if they're not in the UK. If Sega isn't in the UK directly, maybe they won't have no voice on that. So, but that'd be so great. Then it had just Persona and Yakuza games right from the source. Pure Xbox games. Notice I'm not saying anything about Square Enix because Sony's gonna gobble that company up when they're able to. Maybe they're not able to yet, but I know Sony's got an eye on acquiring Square Enix. We're going to see that. That's inevitable one day. That's an inevitable thing that's going to happen one day where Square Enix announces that they're getting purchased by Sony, and Sony's like, yeah, we're purchasing Square Enix. So all these great games are just going to stay on the Sony platform and not go anywhere else. And I know everybody's probably going to say, well, Microsoft does that. I'm like, yeah, but they put it on PC as well. And sometimes they do make offerings to put them on other platforms if, the choice is right. But Sony really doesn't want it. I'm surprised they even put their games on PC, on Steam. I'm still surprised they put their games on Steam still, which they should do. They'll make more money that way. But it'll consolidate. It'll be a little slower. I'm thinking it's going to implode more because the Embracer Group, Embracer is fucking themselves so badly, and they just let go a whole bunch more people. I think they closed down more studios. They're in bad shape. If that whole place just crumbles and falls, I would not see that coming. I just would hope, and I don't think this is going to happen, but somebody should step in and save them by buying them out. I don't know who could do that. I know Microsoft could probably do that, but if they're not going to get allowed to, because the governments would be like, no, that's more companies we don't want you to have. But who else could foot the bill to save those poor companies and people from losing their jobs in Embracer? Because all the games industry and all the layoffs in the game industry right now is very bad. But it's got to get a lot better. These companies got to start thinking better. I'm glad I'm not in the games industry. I'm glad I'm not a game maker. I feel sorry for you guys, but I love you guys just like everybody else that you make these great games for us. But such a bad shape right now. If these people decide, like if you guys that make games, if you're able to make your own games and stuff, go into business for yourselves and make little games and stuff and make some money, I would try to do that. Maybe get together with a bunch of people, make your own little studios and make games for the time being. Maybe you'll get bought out by a bigger company or something. I don't know. But Embracer. At first, I thought they were going to be great. I'm like, oh, they were calling themselves THQ Nordic. I'm like, oh, they're bringing back the THQ. They love THQ, so they want to bring all these companies in to make the new THQ. And then they changed their name one day, and I don't know when that happened, to Embracer. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. And then now I hear that, oh, we were hoping to get supported by the towel heads, by the Taliban, or what was it, the oil regime. I call them the towel heads, Taliban. I know that sounds bad, but it's true. By the Saudis, there we go, Saudis, by the Saudis to pay us to keep our company open, but that fell through. Okay, maybe you should be looking into more places and not just one investor, because that's a bad money decision. Because apparently people that are running the Embracer group, they're running Embracer in general, don't know what the fuck they're doing. But if that implodes, whew, I'm sure all those franchises are going to be up for grabs, and Microsoft could probably purchase all those franchises. Why not? Get all that IP. Whoever is going to be able to purchase all that IP, I think they should. I think Microsoft should be watching Embracer very closely. I know Sony might be, but they don't got as much money as Microsoft. And I know probably other people are too, but watch them very closely, because shit, if that place just all crumbles to the ground, all that IP is going to be up in the air, and I would snap it all up in an instant if I was them. But otherwise, I don't know. I think there could be a big bad time. I know some people say this is a big bad time with all the layoffs and stuff in the industry. I can see a big drop in the games industry. We can have another little crash in the games industry. I know some people say that's impossible or whatever. I think we can have one, especially right now when there's just the major people and a few major guys and then all the little people. I think there could be a crash in the video game industry. Not a total crash like the last one, but something that'll crash it enough where a lot of these companies just go, well, fuck that. And then it'll come back up, because you'll have a lot of indies. Microsoft will keep going on. Sony will try to keep going on, but, you might have a few more casualties in the way, but it might drop, and it might drop hard. And people might say, okay, fuck this. And then it'll come back again, and it'll be stronger than ever. But I think there's a crash in the future. There has to be. It can't sustain like this. It's like the movies industry and everything else. Everything just keeps going up in costs. Everything keeps going up in technology and costs and this and that. You can only go so far before you hit that ceiling, and then you just go right back down. What I want to see, any video games, and what game mechanics I want to see and don't want to see. What do I want to see in my video games and what I don't want to see? Well, I don't want to see those. I want to see good story-based games. I want to see good, it doesn't have to all be open world. These games don't have to be super big and expensive and technologically advanced. I want to see some games like they make it they're 2D games and stuff like that. I want to see good stories to games. I don't want to see paid DLC, this and that. Just make a game and say that's the game. You don't have to keep adding stuff to games all the time. We don't need the live services. We don't need the paid DLC unless if you have some characters you want to change clothes and stuff for, go ahead. But I don't need to see all these online games and stuff. Make it back as a couch co-op or something, or a regular game. Mechanics, I don't know. I don't know. You know, I want to see what a new Tomb Raider game might look like and stuff. There's a lot of stuff I want to see, but basically I just don't want to see it where they try to nickel and dime you and then they try to charge you more money for a game and stuff like that. Just make a game good and let me play the game the way I want to play it, and then let me beat it, and then that's it. Then you make another game and I'll buy that game. Just like in the old days. That's all I want. That's all I could ever want. Now for me, for my part on this, Old Freaky Gamer, OldFreakyGamer.com, my Old Freaky Gamer journey going ahead, 2024. Like I said, I haven't been doing this for a year yet. You know, I did my old stuff, my Juju2Cast stuff, previously, but now I'm just Old Freaky Gamer. This is my new venture since June, because I started this all in June too. And, you know, I'm taking it. I'm just going full steam ahead. I'm just going to do a lot of gaming videos, a lot of podcasts like this. This podcast. I'll do all these podcasts, a lot more gaming videos I want to do, live streams. You know, I just want to have fun. I'm just doing this as my fun hobby. I want to just continue on to have fun. I'm not looking to expand or take this to the next level, really. I just want to have fun, and I hope other people have fun watching my content and listening to my crappy voice. That's all I want. That's all I ever want. And then going forward, you know, shit, you never know. You know, I was always thinking of planning and doing like a Patreon or something, but I'm like thinking, well, maybe Patreon isn't for me, you know. I just want to get more people subscribing. But then I'm always thinking, well, maybe I'll eventually do this video game merchandise. I want to do my own store merchandise. And that's a plan that I still think I'm going to do. I just got to have the time to create it. You know, creating artwork and stuff like I do with this guy, which is me, basically. He's a weird digital version of me playing video games. It takes time. I got my drawing tablet here. I got my digital drawing tablet that I could do all the artwork and stuff on. It's pretty easy and fun to do. Got the software, got all that. I just got to have the time to do it. Got to give myself some time. I got to give myself like a day or something, or a couple days at a time, and draw out some cool stuff, get more stuff going, make some t-shirts, you know, simple stuff, t-shirts, sweatshirts, zippers, hoodies, mugs, cups, stuff like that. Simple stuff, hats. Nothing too expensive, nothing too grandiose. Maybe even stickers and stuff, and then just put them out there for sale, make a little bit of money, put it back into this thing, into my hobby and stuff, and have some fun. You know, if I make it big or something, good. Then I'll put it back into this and make it a business and put the rest of the money into the house and stuff. That's all I want. This is a fun hobby. Otherwise, this is all free. I put my own money into it. I put a lot of money into this stuff so far. And I learned from stuff that I did from the beginning that I used to do, and I changed up some stuff now that I didn't do before, and we'll see how it goes. But it's a whole new year. It's going to be a whole new year, a whole new adventure. It's going to be all the same, old of the same, but I'm excited. I'm excited. I got nothing more to talk about, especially on my side. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to this on Christmas or beyond, or watching this on YouTube, if you're streaming this. So all I can say is happy holidays to all. Like I said, in the next 2 weeks, I got my after the holidays audio podcast where I play a bunch of music on there. I'm kind of upset that I should have put more music on there, but you know, at the time I didn't come up with enough stuff at the time. I'm going to try to make it a big effort for next year to try. This is like my New Year's resolution for this, for the future audio video game podcast in the future. Try to come up with more music, gaming music to put out and put on the show, on the podcast. But I got a bit of stuff. It's a little over an hour. I think it's good for this upcoming 2024. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I enjoyed talking. You know, I don't have any real big games of the year or anything. I used to try to do that, but I'm like, it's just me. And I only play so many games. And I only get done playing so many games. I only finish so many games. So, but I have fun because I'm a gamer. I'm a gamer first, podcast and video maker second, and everything else third. But everybody have happy holidays. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. I hope you get what you want, gaming-wise. I'm tired right now. I got to make some food still. I got to still make some Christmas holiday food for this week and Christmas time. And I want to sit down, eat, relax. Got to do some other chores around the house. I want to sit down, watch some more movies, and play my Asus ROG Ally for the rest of the night. So until the next time, till the following year, 2024, I don't know when, but when I come back officially, it'll probably be, let's see here, podcast next week, and then we got the audio video game music podcast on the 8th. So you'll hear me again, not pre-taped always, but you'll hear me with new stuff, new stories, stuff like that, game news, whatever, on the 22nd. But like I said, I'll still have podcasts on the 8th of January, and I'll still have, of course, this one that you're listening to, and of course, I'll still do my live streams. And then I have coming up when you're listening to this, it's already all happened, but yesterday I had a live stream, and then Friday I had a live stream, and then, we'll see. We'll see going forward. But everybody, this has been the GamezAttack podcast. I think it's been a good podcast. Let's play some Christmas music while we sign out for today. Everybody, thank you very much. Mr. Mike saying game on, game hard, world conquest. I'm pushing this gaming button, and this gaming show is now game over. So everybody, peace and Happy New Year. Hopefully, 2024.